joining the power of food as medicine to transform healthcare for all. Before we begin, let's take a moment to ask for blessings from Almighty. He is like our helpful friend who clears the way for good things to happen. Let's chant His holy words to bring His blessings upon us. May He make everything smooth, dynamic, fruitful and successful. With this, I would like to request Dr. Koel Mishra ma'am to enchant a shloka so that we can begin the event with a holy chanting. Please ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are feeling so blessed and mesmerized at the same time. Ma Saraswati, the goddess of education, knowledge, music, art and speech. Before we ask for Ma Saraswati's blessings, let's remember how important learning is. With respect, we are about to honor the goddess of knowledge and creativity. So let's embark to the journey of education. Pray our tribute to Ma Saraswati. With this, I would like to request Ms. Devashri Mukhopadhyay to perform a graceful dance on Saraswati Vandana. much, Debashri, for such a blissful performance. We are about to commence our event by lighting the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. This is a symbolic moment that signifies the dispelling of darkness and igniting of thought and enlightenment. It's an honor to invite our esteemed speaker, Priyangi Lahiri ma'am, our respected director sir, respected principal sir, respected Arno Chatterjee sir, respected convener and co-conveners to do the honors.
These moments are captured well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. As the lamp is ignited, let its glow remind us of the pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment. May its light guide us through this gathering, inspiring us to seek wisdom and understanding in all that we do. Let us carry forth this illumination, spreading knowledge and compassion in our journey ahead. With this luminous start, we now officially declare the event open and proceed with our planned schedule.
Now, I would like to request Honorable Professor Dr. Alok Satsangi Sir, Director NSHM Knowledge Campus Durgapur, to kindly come forward to welcome our esteemed speaker, Ms. Priyangi Lahiri ma'am. Please sir, please ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Dr. Milind Sir, Principal, NSHM Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management, to please come forward and welcome our esteemed speaker, Dr. Arno Chatterjee, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Now, I kindly invite NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024 convener Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee to please come and brief about today's program. Please, ma'am.
A very warm welcome to all of you. Good morning to all here. I would like to acknowledge all the dignitaries for their valuable presence at this NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024. I feel extremely privileged and proud to organize such a conclave, first time ever in Eastern India. I warmly welcome each one of my valuable dignitaries here and I thank them personally for their presence. I heartily honor you all and everyone participating in NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024. I welcome our Honorable Director Sir, our Honorable Principal Sir with a warm welcome too. Taking forward this wonderful event, I would like to give a brief overview of today's program. We'll begin by enhancing our knowledge in nutrition, entrepreneurship and career development with renowned dietitian Ms. Priyangi Lahiri. This will be followed by a keynote speech on the role of dietitians in healthcare settings by internationally acclaimed dietitian Ms. Cheryl Saris. Next, Dr. Arnab Chatterjee, a hardcore researcher and academician, will share his insights on nutritional strategies for disease prevention and management. Then after, renowned nutritionist and academician Dr. Anindita Roy Chakraborty will deliver a virtual session on nutrition education in public health. After lunch, renowned endocrinologist and metabolic disorder expert Dr. Amit Kumar De will provide his insights on precision nutrition and personalized approaches to health in a virtual session. We'll also have a roundtable discussion featuring renowned speakers and doctors, Dr. Naushmi Lodh and Dr. Rakesh Kumar. And moderation will be done by Dr. Arnab Chatterjee in this session. And it will be on how advancements in medical science have influenced our understanding of nutrition and dietary recommendations. This will be followed by an e-poster presentation contest by intercollegiate students and finally ending up in a valedictory session by Thanksgiving and distribution of certificates of honor and participation to all. So let's not waste time further. I request our anchors to kindly carry forward with the conclave.
Ma'am, I would request you to stay back and please welcome our Director Sir. Director Sir, please come forward.
It's an honor to welcome you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, I would request you to please come and give an inaugural address, sir.
A very good morning to all present. This is the first time we are doing this conclave at NSHM, and it is a very good initiative taken by the department. Since nutrition has been a very important part of our life, but we don't pay attention to it, whether we are students or whether we are grown-ups. Even if I talk about myself, we are scheduled and we don't follow our nutrition patterns. Dr. Milan and I both have been not following the nutrition pattern. We don't eat on time. There is no specific diet what we follow. But it is very important because as you grow old and you get to know that you have been inviting number of diseases or number of problems related to your health, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's heart problems. So the correct diet is very important. Even if you see the recent trend which we have seen people in 30s, 32, 33, 34 leaving this world at a very early age due to cardiac arrest or various diseases, playing cricket and then having like excessive stress or resulting into cardiac arrest. Other than cardiac arrest also, there are a lot of problems which people are facing. Even if we talk about our late CEO, who we lost early this year, suddenly in January we got to know that he has been detected with a 4th stage cancer. And by the time the treatment could be done in a month, we lost him in the month of February. January got to know, and 5th of February we lost him. So it's so difficult. A person who's with you at a young age, you have seen it for 8-9 years, worked along with him, and then suddenly he vanishes. So we still miss Mr. Roy. And what I feel that as students and even as grown-up adults, we need to follow the nutrition pattern today. We need to have a very balanced diet, which we need to understand. We like, I would say, junk food like pizzas, cold drinks and all. I love them. But on the same time, we need to understand that how harmful they are. How harmful they are for our body if taken in excess. There are different parts of the country where you would find due to pesticides, people are facing a lot of problems and a lot of diseases. And how do these pesticides get into us? Because of the pesticides being used into the fields and we eat those vegetables, or the pesticides being used into the pools and ponds from where the fishes are being taken out for our consumption. The chicken which we use or the vegetables which we use. I still remember a couple of years back when we used to be told by doctors that if you want to live a long life, have Laukika juice. It was being told by the doctors. And at the same time, there was a news that they used to put injections into those plants, and overnight it used to become big and it has to be sold. And excess of those juice consumption could result into a lot of disease. So having the right diet is also important. Having and buying the food from where you are buying. You may feel that the vegetable is very good, but where it has been grown, what nutrition it has, whether it is being grown into fields which has got a lot of pesticides. So it's always good to have a kitchen garden in your own house, or a terrace garden, or a balcony kitchen garden, where you can grow up your own vegetables which are far from pesticides. Because you may feel that you're having a right diet with having a lot of green vegetables, but whether the vegetables are being grown up with those pesticides, you're not aware of that. So first and most important thing is that you need to be aware of the right thing. We need to be aware of what we are having, what time we are having, and where we are buying those consumption of those products. I wish you all the best for this conclave, and there is a lot of knowledge sharing. I have seen the catalog, a lot of knowledge sharing sessions, a lot of knowledgeable people are here which are going to give you a lot of insights about their experiences. So please grab it. It's going to be a very valuable session throughout the day for you all. Enjoy, all the best. Thank you so much.
Sir, I would request you to stay back, and I would request our convener, Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee ma'am, to please give a token of appreciation to Director Sir from our end. Thank you so much, sir. I request ma'am to please stay back, and I would like to invite our principal sir to please come forward.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, ma'am. So I request you to please say a few words of inspiration.
Just a minute, we are still with the.
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Please, sir.
A very good morning to Alok sir. Good morning to all the respected dignitaries, ma'am, Priyangi ma'am, Arnab sir, all the department people and all my lovely students, those who are here in the cause of this meeting in Conclave 2024. This is really an amazing time for entire Durgapur and Eastern India having such a wonderful conference on nutrition. As I am a student of human behavior, researcher of human behavior, during the 10 minutes of driving when I was coming with Priyangi ma'am, I was discussing with ma'am that this kind of conference and the academic discussion will definitely give you a little better thought process in the coming days, because you are in the time where things are moving at a very faster pace. You cannot just be a bookish, you have to go through the research, you have to go through with the academic and industry what they are talking about. So today conference, today conclave, the entire day will give you a little extra knowledge, extra thought process, that how you can be a little ahead with the system. As per Indian mythology, ahar is a very important thing. And ahar is nothing, it's basically a mindset that what you are having. So if your food is good, believe me, you don't need a doctor. As Dr. Alok said, because of our hectic schedule, our time is not scheduled. But definitely it will impact our body, and it is impacting our body. So as a health professional, all the students, those who are sitting here, this is our humble request to all of you to explain, to nourish, and to guide people like us. Even your small steps towards the society, the contribution will make a lot of good and healthy society. Even if you are able to support or guide one person nearby in your society, in your family, definitely you will have a good and healthy society. So without taking much of your time, I again congratulate Anuradha ma'am, Manisha ma'am, and all the students and all the participants and entire National Knowledge Campus Durgapur. A happy day, a nutritious day, and having a lot of nutrition of mind with a lot of good thoughts, good academic knowledge, good industry practice knowledge. Because for food, because you can give food to your belly, but for a mind, you need a good thought, good imagination, good knowledge, then only you can become a good expert of your area. Thank you once again.
Sir, I would request you to please come back, and I would request ma'am to please give a token of appreciation from our end. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Every one of you, we are so happy to announce that we are now live on YouTube. So everyone is requested to please share the YouTube link with everyone. And also we will be requesting everyone to please keep their phone on airplane mode.
Together, let's explore the transformative power of nutrition and pave the way for a healthier, happier world's first time ever in Durgapur, this NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024. So let's begin with our technical session 1 on nutrition, entrepreneurship and career development by Ms. Priyangi Lahiri ma'am. She is a consultant clinical dietitian and diabetes educator, presently attached as a clinical dietitian with Care Continuum PVT Ltd and NG Medicare and Calcutta Hope Infertility Clinic. She is an All India first rank holder at the Indian Dietetic Registration Board exam, done MSc in Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics and PG Certificate in Diabetes Educator. Post-qualification experience of 12 years, she has worked with leading hospital and healthcare companies in the past. She is a National Executive Committee member, Association of Diabetes Educator India, and Executive Committee member, Society for Nutrition and Dietetics, also a life member of Indian Dietetic Association. With this, I would like to invite Ms. Priyangi Lahiri ma'am upon the dais to proceed with her enlightening session. Please, ma'am. I request the technical team to please.
Just welcome. Just take her. Just request ma'am to. We'll just welcome. Meanwhile she can.
Ma'am, I request you to wait for a while.
Just get the technical team ready and then.
Okay. I request the technical team to please do the things required. We are very privileged to welcome our esteemed speaker, Ms. Cheryl Salis, keynote speaker. I request Anuradha ma'am to please welcome Ms. Cheryl Salis ma'am.
About to start. My team coming through.
Thank you so much ma'am. I request Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee ma'am to please welcome our guest, Dr. Project Chaudhary sir. Please sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Priyanki ma'am to please proceed with your session.
And we are extremely sorry because in between we need to welcome our delegates.
We are extremely sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, very good morning to all of you. It feels great to be back here again for NSHM. More so this time to be a part of such a wonderful panel of senior speakers. We have Cheryl ma'am over here, we have other very senior speakers who would be speaking today. So it feels great, and so at the outset I would like to thank and express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee ma'am and the entire organizing team for having me here today and making me a part of this NUTRI-CONCLAVE.
So the topic that I will be discussing today, I'm all the more excited because this is not a technical or academic topic per se. So it is something. I have not referred to any hard facts or anything for the lecture. So I will be, sharing with you whatever little, idea that I have developed, or whatever little understanding that I have, developed over the years in this field. So I'll just share all of that with you. And are we ready? Are we all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah. So what I was saying is today whatever I'm going to discuss is not a very technical, it's not a technical topic. So we will be talking about the different avenues and career paths that one can choose in nutrition, especially with respect to entrepreneurial ventures. So whatever that I was just saying that I'll just share with you whatever insights that I have gained over the years being in the field, first as a student and then as a professional. So let us begin with what is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a very big word, right? Again, we are not going into any bookish definitions, but if we try to understand the basic concept, so it is about problem solving. Entrepreneurship is about problem solving. So essentially, you identify a need in the market or a problem in the society, and you offer solutions. And how innovatively you offer your solutions. Solutions could be through your services, it could be through products or combination of both. So how innovatively you offer those solutions is going to make you stand out in the crowd. So talking about needs, I do not really need to emphasize the importance of nutrition to all of you because I believe all of you are nutrition and dietetics students. And this is a NUTRI-CONCLAVE, so I need not emphasize the growing importance of nutrition and your profession. You know that the NCDs, the non-communicable diseases, have become the top killers, not only globally but also in countries like developing countries like ours. And not only that, we have a double burden of malnutrition. NCDs are linked with chronic overnutrition, energy excess, and physical inactivity, and along with that, we have our own share of stunted children, wasted children, so all of that. So it's a double burden of malnutrition that we have, and across the spectrum, we have this micronutrient deficiency and imbalances. So I just wanted to point out that the demand or the problem that we are talking about is multifaceted. So you have opportunities which are also varied, and your role is huge. So the demand for your expertise as a nutritionist, it is only increasing. Now before I proceed further, I think many of you are yet to settle down. So let me just ask you one question. Let me just ask you something. So any idea what is the commonest question that a nutritionist or even a nutrition student is asked? Anybody? What is the commonest question? In Bengali? Anybody? Nobody is opting to answer. Well, I'll tell you. What I have faced is, so how to reduce tummy fat? Now that is the commonest question that you get as a nutritionist. I'll share with you one experience. A few years back I was there in this show. I was invited in Durgapur. The topic was on nutrition consumerism. And it was like a panel discussion where there were professionals from 2 to 3 different fields. There was someone from the marketing, field, there was a food science specialist, and I was there as a nutritionist. So you won't believe me, the anchor, the moderator, he suddenly stopped me in the middle of whatever, I was answering a specific question related to the topic, and he just all of a sudden stopped me and asked me, okay, now ma'am, could you please share some tips how to reduce belly fat? I was astonished. I mean, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry or get angry. I mean, it was hilarious. I mean, we were discussing something very serious, something very different. And then how can you just ask how to reduce tummy fat in between a show on national television? So you can understand. So that is the commonest concept one has when it comes to nutrition. So I wanted to share this story just to point out that it's not only just about reducing belly fat or weight reduction, or even, whenever we think about nutrition as a profession, we think about giving dietary advice. Somebody sitting in a clinic and giving dietary advice. But nutrition has various roles. You can pursue a lot of different roles as a nutritionist. So the second most common question that we are asked is, any idea? And I would like to, emphasize on that. That is, what is the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian? Almost every single day I have to encounter this question. Ma'am, are you a dietitian or a nutritionist? Can I go to you for this and that? And so you will, as future professionals, you also need to know the difference. As in, again, not bookish definitions, but just try and understand the concept. So nutritionist, whenever we talk about the term nutritionist, it's a very generalized term. We can say it's an umbrella term for various roles, right? So, the qualifications also might vary, and, a nutritionist might indicate somebody who's who can be a nutrition scientist or a nutrition researcher or even a food scientist, a nutrition marketing professional, a registered dietitian, somebody into food product development, even agricultural scientists. So this is a very broad term. Anybody working in the field of nutrition might not be having qualification in nutrition, but some allied field can be referred to as a nutritionist if he or she is working with in the subject. But diet specific role. A ma'am will be elaborating on the role of dietitians in her session. So just understand that dietitian, the term dietetics is a specialized field in nutrition. It's the application of nutrition science in our daily diet. So, and it refers to a very, very specific role. And of course, and the title is regulated. In certain countries, it is legally protected. Unfortunately, we still do not have strict regulations, but it refers to a specific role, and one has to have a degree or a postgraduate diploma, so background in dietetics or background and training in dietetics. So a professional who is specifically trained to give prescription advice on your diet based on a nutritional diagnosis and a medical condition if there is any. So that person is a dietitian. So we can say that all dietitians are nutritionists, but it is not the other way around. All nutritionists are not dietitians. So that is the basic difference. So talking about the various roles, before I proceed into the next slide, can we have it a little bit of interaction? Over there, I can see, all the students. So can you, do you have any idea about the various roles one can take as a nutrition professional apart from being a dietitian? The commonest ones are being a dietitian or being an academician or a researcher. But there are other roles. Any idea or anything that you have to share? I think you're not yet ready for interaction. We can have it after the session. So yes, of course, dietetics is one of them. Academics is also very, it's one of the commonest things. Whichever field in nutrition you are in, you can always choose to go into academics. Research is, of course, a very important area. Food product development and marketing, content writing and content development, nutrition education as in for the masses. You know, you can work as a corporate, organize corporate workshops and all that. I'll be elaborating on some of the areas in a little bit more detail subsequently. But there are various, aspects or various roles in nutrition that one can pursue, and each one of the roles, each one of these can be taken up as an entrepreneurial venture. The word is a little bit, it's like a tongue twister for me. So anyway, so you can always take up self-employment opportunities in each of these areas and not necessarily only practice as a dietitian. Now, so basic steps, for building a successful career in nutrition, whether you are self-employed or you are employed by an organization. So, of course, relevant academic qualifications. So, academic qualifications are extremely important. I need not emphasize on that because you already have that or are going to get one. Given the amount of nutrition quackery that is increasing, ma'am, we are very fortunate to have Cheryl ma'am over here. She runs a wonderful campaign on nutrition quacks. So given all that, if we have to, make a specific, name in the field, then please ensure that you have proper academic qualifications, and not only academic qualifications but relevant academic qualifications. That is very important. So relevant to the field or to the career path that you're about to choose. For example, I see a lot of people who have done their masters or postgraduate in food science and nutrition or food processing and nutrition, and really do not have so much of dietetics as their emphasis area in their postgraduates. They after they pass out, all they do is land up in a hospital. Go to a hospital and get a job or start their own practice. That seems to be the easiest way out because there's no strict regulations. And all these hospitals, they also specify a nutrition, masters in nutrition and dietetics or food and nutrition. So there are no specific, they don't specify your qualifications. But in order to be successful, in order to stand out, you have to have relevant qualification that is relevant. That is important because qualification, as Sir was also discussing, it is the stepping stone of your, to the career path. So it's the foundational thing. So you can always navigate through your, you can change from one field to another if you have interest in something else. You'll always not get the opportunity to do a relevant, degree. But if you really want to do dietetics, if you really want to come and practice as a dietitian, and if you do not have it in your postgraduate, make sure you get a diploma or postgraduate diploma. And similarly, if you want to pursue, if you have done clinical nutrition, but you want to pursue something in product development or food processing, so get some certification, get some postgraduate relevant. I mean, not from a recognized institute or university, of course. So get relevant qualification. And qualification doesn't end only at your MSc. You can do numerous, short courses. You can do certifications and all that, postgraduate diploma. So there are a lot of opportunities for you today, because back when I graduated and passed out, so we did not have so many opportunities. But today you have too much of learning opportunities, online training opportunities, and all that. So make use of that. Now the next is, only academic qualification is not enough. Practical training and internship, that is very, very important. So unfortunately in India, the nutrition and dietetics curriculum is not quite standardized. The curriculum that is offered by the courses that are offered by different universities, they vary. Some of them offer, they have internships as a part of the course, some do not, and even if they have the period of internships that, or the type of internships that vary. So this is unlike the medical curriculum, which is standardized kind of, but it's not in the case in our case. So if your university or if the course that you have pursued does not have provision for adequate practical training, so make sure you get one. You get an internship done before you actually start working. So that internship is not like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months internships won't be enough. At least 6 months, that is the minimum that you can get. That you need actually. It could be 6 months to 1 year, whatever that is, whatever available. So just get some practical, hands-on experience before you actually start working. Because I see a lot of girls today, they just, after passing out, even before they have their results out, they are practicing. And it's easy today with these online platforms. So you need to have, so there are certain subjects which cannot be learned just by attending classroom lectures, right? So dietetics is such a subject. For example, surgery. You cannot read it by, learn it by reading books. You have to learn it on the table, hands-on. So there are, these, I'm only referring to dietetics more because I'm a dietitian. So any field or any path you're choosing, you have to have relevant practical experience. That is very important, and you have to make sure you gather one. And very important, if you are planning to venture on your own, so be it opening a company or private practice or whatever, if you are planning to be on your own, as in self-employment, then my piece of advice to you would be, before venturing into something, it's always better to work for an organization for a few years, work for 3 years, 5 years, 7, 8 years, whatever the length might be. So that, prepares you a lot, that equips you with a lot of experience, because there is nothing greater than on-the-job experience. So the experience that you get on the job, you learn about the market, you learn the potential challenges. So it prepares you in a lot of ways. So before venturing into something, just invest time in work for an organization. So and take it as something like you are being paid for learning. So take it that way. So gather experiences, gather resources. You might need funds for your entrepreneurial ventures. So it's always advisable. That's my piece of advice, that go and work for an organization or 2 or 3 organizations before you actually venture on your own. Another thing that is very important, our principal sir was also talking about that, and we were having a discussion while we were driving from the place where I was put up to this venue, is continuing education. Continuing education is very, very important. A degree which you have earned or a qualification that you have earned 20 years back will not get you through. Especially in a field like nutrition, which is the subject is very rapidly evolving. We have new guidelines every few years. There is updation. There is so much of new research that is coming up, and there is changes in the trends and concepts. So you need to keep yourself updated. So how do you keep yourself updated? Of course, one of them is your own reading and your own, studying and all that. Apart from that, go and attend seminars, workshops, be part of professional associations, take short courses, whatever you feel is relevant. That continuing education is always very, very important, because this is a competitive market and you need to stand out, and you never know what some course that you do might not help you right away, right now, but you might benefit from it a few years later. So it's always advisable to keep learning. So I consider myself a nutrition student, and I'll keep on doing so till as long as I live. So that is very important, and that actually helps in your professional development. And professional networking is also very important, because professional networking also helps you in staying connected, staying in touch with your fraternity, and you know what is happening, what others are thinking, and all that. So, and also might you can get in touch with potential clients. So networking is very important. Now, when we talk about entrepreneurial ventures, or being on your own, there are certain things that are very important. So marketing, you all know that it's very important to market yourself, as in promote the services or the products that you are offering. So, and you also you need to engage your clients and customers. But not only that, you'll have to have strategies for your long-term growth and development. That is very important. And branding. What is branding? It's basically about building an image and an unique identity. You need to have a unique identity in this competitive field. You need to stand out. So I was talking about innovation. So you have to be able to think out of the box. There are hundreds of others offering solutions to the same problem. But how innovatively you do that, how easily that is implementable, all these things matter. So branding is very important. So it could be an organization that you build. So it could have a name, or it could be just your name could also be your brand. So for example, ma'am, she herself is a brand, Miss Sheryl Salis, but she also has her own organization, Nurture Health Solutions. So we all know that it has become a brand. So you need to, that branding is very important. That consistent image that you have to maintain, that will help you get through. So for that, as I was saying, that networking is very important. Take the help of social media. That's a very powerful tool and easily available tool, and if used correctly, it's misused a lot of times, but if you use correctly, it can be a very, very potential, it's a very potential resource. So, and of course attending conferences and all that is there, we have already discussed about that. So, there are professional networking platforms like LinkedIn. So go there and join. It's not, just don't have a profile. You interact with people, you post your experiences, write blogs. And so these are very important for, engaging, not only engaging clients, you get to know other professionals and all that. Professional website is very important also, so which can feature your services, expertise, case studies if any, client testimonials and all that. And along with that, try and publish something or the other. It could be, academic publishing, or it could be just, blog posts or whatever. Write. It's very important for you to, write and publish things. So, and today, as I was saying, since you have social media, you can have your page where you can just, you need not actually go and, publish things in a magazine, which is always not accessible. So, social media is there to use it effectively. Now, just coming to some of the areas that I was talking about very briefly. Ma'am will be elaborating on the role of dietitian, but just to brief you. So as I've already discussed, so if you want to start practicing as a consultant dietitian, so of course background in dietetics is a must. Of course today everybody, there are no regulation and everybody is practicing. But if you have to have a proper, name, then background in dietetics is very important, and registration RD is very, it is important. It is recommended. Again, there are no regulations, but it is recommended. And you can do additional specialization. It could be on pediatric nutrition or sports nutrition. Diabetes and obesity is the commonest thing. You can also opt for maternal nutrition, renal nutrition, geriatric nutrition. It's you can choose one or few of these specializations to build a niche. That is very important. So it's better than being a jack of all trades. So if you have a niche, it helps you in creating your own identity. So now how do you go about it? So you can tie up with polyclinics, corporate offices, nursing homes. Most of the hospitals, they have their own employee dietitians, but many of the small nursing homes do not. So you can go out and explore basically. Diagnostic centers, fertility centers, gyms, and today you have a lot of virtual platforms that you can make use of. You can also start your own clinic or form your own consulting organization, but that requires some amount of investment. If you are starting your own clinic, you need a space and all that. Both has its own advantages and disadvantages, because if you are tied to a clinic or an institute, the advantage is there is already a lot of footfalls over there. So your name is displayed there. So somebody who has patient who comes for consulting, an orthopedic surgeon sees your name, and the doctor asks her to get weight reduced, so that patient walks to you. So a lot of it's easy to get clients that way. And of course, if you have your own space or your own clinic, time constraint is not there. Most of these polyclinics, they have time constraints. They will give you slots of 2 hours, and for dietetics, consulting patients, each patient requires a lot of time. So you cannot just see 10 patients in 2 hours. So both have their own advantages, pros and cons. So now, where do you get your patients from? Or clients from? So in this case, in case of dietetics, of course, referrals from doctors are very important, and initially that is the sole source of your, the source of clients where you get from. And of course, apart from doctors, there are other healthcare professionals like physiotherapists who can also refer to you. So associate with doctors, associate with allied professionals, and once your practice starts rolling, you have automatically patients by word of mouth. Patients' families, previous clients, they will refer if they are happy with your work. And of course, again, publishing articles, writing blogs, and sharing your experiences with clients. All these are very important. Now, nutrition research. We all know about dietetics or consulting practice. That is, very common. But nutrition research, when we talk about research, it is mostly people who are either employed by an institute or university or corporate company in the R&D division. But you can also, take up research as an entrepreneurial venture. So you can offer various ways you can do it. So it could be customized research projects that you take up. So it could be experimental studies or clinical trials, surveys, field research. And research doesn't mean you need a laboratory. Depending on the kind of or the focus area. So it could be just through a questionnaire also. So research, you just have to have the inclination for research. So if you really have an inclination for research, then you can explore this opportunity, or you can think about it. So it could be through either customized research project or other consulting services, like you can provide expert nutrition advice on nutrition trends, then product formulation, regulatory compliance, and substantiation of different health claims. So these are also areas which require expertise of a nutrition researcher. You can also offer analysis and interpretation of nutritional data to help clients make informed choices. So you need to identify your niche. You also need to identify a need in the market, or research problems that are relevant to the society and consumers. It's not a very academic research just for the sake of it. No, So it has to be practical oriented. And who would be your target clients? It could be food and food and beverage companies, the pharmaceutical, the nutraceutical companies, hospitals. So depending on whatever research you plan to carry out, so you can accordingly decide your target clients. So the basic requirements would be here. In research you cannot do it all on your own. You would need a qualified team of researchers, nutritionists, statisticians and support staff. So you need to build a team, you need to collaborate, and also research needs some amount of infrastructure. Depending on whether you are doing, whether you need to clinical research or you want to be into, some laboratory research. So according to that, you can partner with certified labs or clinics, hospitals, and so that, and also you need to invest in technology and tools for data collection. So you need to identify sponsors and investors for that. That is a little more difficult than starting your own practice and practicing on your own. So compliance with ethical standards, all these are very important when it comes to research. Now, product development, it is also another kind of research. So product development and marketing. So you could have your own brand of health food, a collection of health food products. It could be a company or a health food chain, or nutrition and dietary supplements. It could even be health and fitness apps, nutrition apps, which have become very popular, are in demand right now. So in that case, you need to collaborate with people in the software engineering field, and you need to collaborate with them and develop something. And so these are, I'm just sharing with you ideas which I've thought about. So the exact process, exact path, you need to figure out once you decide to embark on a particular journey. So other, like academics, you can ask, how can I take academics as an entrepreneurial venture? These days, you have a lot of, these coaching institutes that are coming up, not only for coaching, not only academic coaching for people who are pursuing BSc or MSc, but professional coaching. So that can also be thought of. So you can offer master classes. Actually, when I was having a discussion with Anuradha ma'am, that what are the prerequisites one should have to open such an academy and all that, what qualifications. So there are no hard and fast, there are strict regulated qualifications that one should have. Of course, you should be a qualified nutritionist with at least a postgraduate. You should have that inclination for academics, and then you can collaborate with people, depending on the kind of classes that you want to conduct. You can collaborate with appropriate people with appropriate qualifications, with a PhD or registered dietitian. So you can collaborate accordingly. But this can be thought of as an entrepreneurial venture if you do not want to enter into a 9-to-5 job. Again, content writing, content development is another very important area. That could be academic content, it could be popular content. So content development, you can offer it as a service. Menu planning for different institutes, like your schools, it could be for corporate kitchens, it could be for geriatric houses, it could be, most of the hospitals have their own dietitians, but again, as I was saying, many small nursing homes, they do not. So you could explore those opportunities as well. Food labeling is one. Nutrition education, again, this is community nutrition. So nutrition education for the masses, as I was talking about. So you could go to the corporate offices, corporate workshops, school health programs. You could tie up with NGOs and plan community health programs and all that. So lot of, I've just listed whatever has, while preparing for the presentation, whatever has come to my mind, I have listed it. There could be 8 more points. You can add 8 more points to it. So before ending the session, first, a few things I would like to highlight. Some of the essential qualities for success self-employed person. So discipline and hard work is important in every field, every role that you take up, that is there. But when you are on your own, when you are self-employed, discipline is all the more important. Why? Because it might seem very easy and fun kind of thing when you do not have someone to monitor you, you do not have a boss to report to, you do not have fixed stipulated working hours where you're not bound to work from 9 to 5, it can be flexible and all that. All that is there, but it's not that easy. You do not have work that is deliverable immediately, so you tend to take it easy. But even, trust me, it's not easy. That discipline is very important. You have to be self-motivated because you always do not have paychecks at the end of the month. You have to work on, even if you do not have something deliverable immediately, you have to work. It could be you sit for work, allot a specific time work schedule for yourself, even if you do not have anything to work on specifically. Sit for work, read up or whatever, but have that discipline. Have a definite workspace, even if you are working from home, have a definite workspace. So organize, plan for the future. So that is very important, and it all happens, it all will happen if you have a passion for the subject. That is very important. So unless you're passionate about the subject, you will not get up in the morning and start working just like that, if you do not have anyone to report to. So that is self-motivation is very important, and trust me, the amount and the consistency of effort that you put in is almost directly proportional to success. Of course, there are other factors, but the consistent efforts are very, very important. So, before ending, one last thing that I would like to emphasize is, as nutrition professionals, spread nutrition information responsibly. I was talking about nutrition quacks, but I think ma'am would also agree that a lot of people from our own fraternity, they are, as I was saying, social media is very handy these days. So you can share anything on social media, but whatever you share, just make sure you do not sound like a Google search. So that anybody can do. So you should sound like a professional. So maybe we can do a separate session on this some other day, because I have a lot to talk about on this. But just to keep it short, share information responsibly, like a true professional, like somebody who has a strong background and qualification in nutrition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an enriching and informative session. I would request you to stay back, and I request our honorable convener, Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee, ma'am, to please give a token of appreciation to respected Ms. Priyanki, ma'am, from our end. And I request all of you to kindly visit the stalls put up by our sponsors. We are extremely thankful to them for making our event possible to a successful. I request the audience to please give a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Next, we will be beginning with our technical session 2 on the role of dietitians in healthcare settings by our honorable keynote speaker, Ms. Cheryl Salis ma'am. She is the registered dietitian, certified diabetes educator, insulin pump specialist, sports nutritionist, low food map dietitian, and naturopath. She is the founder and director of Nurture Health Solutions, the author of the award-winning book Diet in Diabetes Simplified, your personal diabetes nutrition coach. We are extremely happy, privileged, and proud that we are fortunate enough to witness you, ma'am, live sitting here at Durgapur. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presence. I would request you, ma'am, to please come up on the dais and start with your valuable session. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you get that remote? Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure being here, and I thoroughly enjoyed Priyanki's session. I think she exactly spoke my mind, and you see a lot of repetition from what she's speaking. But I think it will be a very good kind of a, just emphasizing the important points. So I'm going to very quickly tell you. So honestly, this is my 24th year of practice. Okay, so it's been 24 years in this field, and when we started out, honestly, there was no scope at all. There was one interview, and the entire class was to be there, and whoever quotes the least salary would get the job. So we really didn't have any opportunities, and today I see that sky is the limit. So there is so much that is there, and I think you all are in a very, very good space today. And I'm just going to share with you my journey over the last 24 years. It's been very, very exciting, and honestly, I've thoroughly enjoyed this roller coaster ride. And so one is, yes, we have changed. Our eating habits have changed, and you will see that people are definitely getting healthier as they say, but not healthy inside. So basically, first it used to be the bigger the belly, it is a sign of prosperity, and today we are really worried because we know that it is a call for all NCDs, cancers, etc. I think Priyanki has already emphasized in a lot of these points. So we are, number one in, in many things, and we are fast inching towards becoming the diabetes capital of the world, and our consumption of cereals, carbohydrates, and therefore obesity, all that has gone up. I'm not going to really waste too much time on these slides, but yes, to tell you that there is a huge need because we are facing a tsunami of NCDs, and we're seeing a lot of people with cancer today. In fact, I'm surprised to hear the number of cases that we're seeing with cancer and other conditions, and very, very early on. In fact, I remember when I was working for a hospital in 2004, 2003, 2004, and the numbers came up saying that there would be 32 million people with diabetes in the year 2000 and something, and I went very concerned to my medical superintendent, and I said, oh my God, what's happening? The numbers are really, increasing. And he looked at me and he said, Shelly, you will have a very bright future. And I was quite zapped at that comment made by him, but today I thoroughly understand why. And today we are seeing so much of a need for diabetes educators, diabetes education, and trained people in the area. So yes, and we are seeing people getting diabetes very early. In fact, in our clinic, we specialize in diabetes, but in our clinic we have very young children coming to us with type 2 diabetes. The youngest child that we have with type 2 diabetes in our clinic is a 6-year-old child. Okay, so we are not at all happy about the situation, and we wish that we can prevent. And I think we dietitians, always say this in every talk of mine, that we, while we say yes, doctors give, treatment and care, etc. But we dietitians play the role of preventive everything. Whether it's a preventive cardiologist, preventive nephrologist, preventive dietologist, and preventive what. So I think first people need to come to us so that they don't reach a situation where they will need medical treatment. Yes, these are the NFHS 5, the survey data, and it is not at all encouraging in terms of the numbers, even though we're talking so much about anemia. There's so much of discussion on every weekend. There is a conference that is happening on various topics, but we're still seeing that the numbers are going up. Abdominal obesity, hypertension, diabetes, cardiac events, as well as anemia. Okay, even if you look at the anemia numbers have definitely increased from what it was in the past. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it has to be done by us because we are qualified, we know what to do, and like Priyanki said today, everybody is a dietitian. Somebody who's lost weight is a dietitian, a gym trainer is a dietitian, somebody who's selling protein supplements is a dietitian. I mean, I'm not talking about the nutraceuticals, but we have today in Joggers Park people are selling and supplements, just checking weight, and I'm not going to get into details of that, but we have enough data to say yes, and it is really important because it is affecting our kids today. Post-COVID, a lot has changed. Unfortunately, in COVID, our children could not go down to play. Screen time increased, and that has affected our children so much that we are seeing a very, very high incidence of childhood obesity and all other medical, disorders related to obesity. Nutrition, yes. While we are talking about malnutrition, there is something called as malnutrition. When we are seeing obesity, people are looking healthy or obese. Healthy in the sense, I think I'm talking in terms of how our grandparents look at. They like healthy children, but today we always tell mothers, don't worry about the weight. If your child is active and if the child is slightly on the underweight side, that's fine. So don't focus so much on chubby babies, because chubby does not mean healthy. I think this is something that we keep talking. But while we are talking about that, we are facing a burden of, one is malnutrition, whether the person is obese or whether the person is underweight, and this is something which is really, really a matter of concern, and therefore there is a big nutrition gap, there's hidden hunger and undernutrition, which not only affects, and today that is why we're focusing so much on women health. There's so much, we celebrate a whole month of nutrition now, and the focus is a lot on women health is because we know that if the woman is healthy, the future generations will be healthy, and we know that today it is the 1,000 days of life which are so, so important. So right from the time the lady conceives to the 2 years of the baby are so critical, and that is where our role becomes very important. In fact, today I see a lot of people who come to us even before they plan conception, saying that I'm planning to conceive, but I want to be a healthy mother. I want to ensure that I'm nourished well, I'm not gaining too much weight, and I'm telling you I'm the happiest person there. And again, in pregnancy, we have so many women who come to us because there are so many misconceptions about pregnancy. You can't eat this, you can't eat. In fact, yesterday on our WhatsApp group, it was being discussed that you can't eat fish when you're pregnant. And I said, I'm from the coastal, I'm from Karnataka, and we can't do without fish. And I ate fish throughout my pregnancy and I was completely fine. And then I had to show them evidence saying that, okay, this is what the different bodies state. And therefore, whenever we say anything, like Priyanki said, it has to be evidence-based. It cannot be a Google search. It has to be something which is backed by scientific evidence. And that will differentiate us from any other person who's claiming to be a nutritionist. So yes, today we are also having malnutrition, and we have a lot of Google diets today, and a lot of people going and doing this. In fact, they come to us and say, okay, I want to do a ketogenic diet, I want to do this diet, I want to do that diet. And then a lot of people doing these kind of diets, and what we see is, we see a before after, but we really don't see an after. So they've lost weight and they've gained all that weight back, which is not promoted by these slimming centers. But what happens in the bargain is the person loses health, the person loses a lot of nutrients, and the person becomes malnourished. So there's no point of losing weight and looking thin and being malnourished. Okay? So therefore the role of a dietitian starts, it is from illness to wellness. And today the whole focus is on wellness, and there's so much on wellness, whether we're talking about corporate, wellness programs, or we're talking about school wellness programs. There's so much that we are focusing on wellness because we do not want them to reach to a stage of illness. And again, it starts from womb to tomb. Our role is the most important role, and today even doctors have understood the importance of a dietitian. In fact, the kind of respect that we get today is phenomenal. They want a nutritionist, they want a dietitian in their clinic, in the hospital, and today they reach out to us if they need any kind of clarification, because patients keep asking them so many questions on diet. Opportunities. I think, as I'm going to show you, but the ocean is the limit here. I think Priyanki already spoke about it, but this is what I put down, this is what I thought of. There's so many opportunities out there. Just as a dietitian, we have Kalpana here with us, and everybody knows that she has her own tiffin service as well. And she does, right? You do, right? And that's doing so well. So you can imagine, because otherwise there are a lot of people who start tiffin services, but they're not healthy. They call it healthy, but they're absolutely not healthy. They're not customized for that disease condition. So therefore, our role, there's so much that we can do. Only thing is we have to have the passion, the drive, and of course we have to have the funds if we're doing something entrepreneurial. Money is very, very important. So there is a lot that we can do. So opportunities are endless, and I think we have to grab every opportunity that comes our way. Honestly, in the last 24 years, I have grabbed every opportunity that has come my way, but it hasn't. That has been sleepless nights, lots of hard work, lots of tears, lots of sweat, and that's not going to happen. You have to work very hard. You have to prove yourself each time. And only when you prove and you deliver good quality work, you will get more work. So I think your work will speak for itself. You do not have to have a godfather or anything. It will take a little more time, but it will happen. Again, when we're talking about hospitals today, we see that, dietitians become a very important. In fact, the hospital that I worked with in 2001, there used to be only 2 or 3 dietitians, And today I'm seeing that there are 10 to 14 dietitians in a hospital working, and every department. And that's so good, because that is such an important thing. Today your NABH, JCI registration needs a qualified dietitian, and RD becomes very, very important over here. And administration also becomes a critical role. Private practice, you can start, but I would definitely like to agree and emphasize again what Priyanki said. Do not start private practice as soon as you pass out. Remember, there is theory is very different. What we apply in practice is so different. It cannot equal to 100%. Always you're trying to calculate and add up to 100. It doesn't work like that in practice. Each individual is different. It has to be customized, tailor-made. One size does not fit all, even if it's the same condition. And you will learn this only when you have worked with somebody with immense years of experience, because some things come only with experience. So it is my request to you that I know even if you want to start your private practice, definitely give it at least 5 years. Work and gain knowledge. And when you're working in that place, work with all sincerity, be ethical. Because we see a lot of unethical things also happening, which really, remember, it's a small world. You meet the same people. So if you're going to be unethical, it's not going to be a good ending, because today I'm still in touch with my boss whom I reported to in 2001. I speak to her every week, once a week. She's 80 years old. And that is only because you've been sincere and honest in what you've done. So very, very important is to do it with all sincerity and honesty. Today people are going to the gym, there are sports. People are really venturing out into different sports. We have people who are doing ultra marathon, triathlon, swimming, different kind of sports. So sports nutrition is also gaining a lot of prominence, and we do not have too many sports nutritionists in our country. So this is an area which is really, really important that you can look on. Okay, now I was just looking at, again, like Priyanki said, you can even have specialized, because I think you cannot be a jack of all. Today we are in the area of specialized dietetics. In fact, in the college that I teach, we have specialized nutrition as a part of the master's program. So you specialize in bariatric nutrition, pediatric nutrition, diabetes and cardiac care, renal nutrition, and today there are so many different avenues, and you can actually be a part of a department which is into that. Today bariatric clinics, there are so many bariatric surgeons who want somebody who specializes in bariatric nutrition. Renal nutrition, and today honestly I'm telling you the number of dialysis centers is just springing up, and how, because there are so many complications, renal complications arising because of uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension. So again, that is another area that you can look at. Pediatric nutrition, I put it all there, not actually mentioning IDS. In fact, we as IDA offered a discounted rate. I'm not sure if how many of you did it, but we offered it at a discounted rate. It was at 1/4 the price. The FODMAP Monash University course, and a lot of us did that course, and today it's amazing because your name is on the website, and a lot of people reach out to you saying, and IBS has again become very, very common. IBD, yesterday was World IBD Day. Okay, so geriatrics, everything I've listed down. I'm not going to go into details, but pediatrics, newborn errors of metabolism, so much, and honestly we can't do everything. And very important is to refer out. If you do not know to manage a case, I do that. We can't manage everything. So I'm not good at newborn errors or metabolism. So I would refer it to somebody who's doing that. Refer the case, because then you will do justice to the patient. If you do not know the subject, you look at Google and you start managing this case, you will spoil your name. And unfortunately then you will not get more patients. So refer people out whom you do not really know the case that you don't understand. Like Priyanki said, find and carve a niche for yourself. Everybody thinks I only do type 1 diabetes. I don't know how many of you all know that, but we don't do only type 1, but I'm known for type 1 because I took up type 1 diabetes in 2004 when nobody was looking at it. We didn't really learn too much about type 1 diabetes. I remember when I was called to do the first patient, who was an insulin pump, I failed so badly because my friend had started distribution of insulin pumps, and he took me to a patient's house. And that patient had come from the US. He had more knowledge than I had. And when I came back from that person's house, I felt so terrible. I said, oh God, I didn't know anything. He knew more than me. I started reading so much about the subject that today everybody knows that I've written a couple of books on carb counting. I represent India internationally for type 1 diabetes. But that is the passion that you should have, and that was an opportunity that came my way. I went free. I just went with my friend, free of cost, just to see that patient because he was giving me free lunch that day. And that changed my life forever, And today I always message him and tell him that, okay, because of you, I am into type 1 diabetes. Personalized nutrition. Today a lot of things is on genomics, So again, that's another area. In fact, there are courses on this, NUTRI-genomics, which you can do even after masters. And you can take this up because this is going to be the future. And there's a lot of money. In fact, quacks are charging, I just saw one, somebody sent me 2,50,000 is the cost of a quack who's charging for NUTRI-genomics. And I was surprised. I said, no patient is ready to pay us that amount. I don't know how they get agreed to pay quacks. Because if you see quacks, they're only charging in lakhs and everybody's paying them. Somehow they don't pay us. Okay, then workplace wellness. This is another big area today because today corporates are looking at, giving some value add to their employees because they want the employee to stay longer and only if the employee is cared for will they stay longer. Also, they give insurance. So, insurance companies provide this as a part of their service. So, this is another area which is really coming up, whether it's health coaching, whether it's cafeteria audits, whether it is, in-clinic consultations, doing workshops, seminars. It's a very, very niche area. This is something that you could also look at, and we have a lot of dietitians now working at different corporate houses who are having in-house dietitians. Because cafeterias also, because when we tell people, employees to eat healthy, what they tell us? They say that we are in the office most of the time, especially all our banking employees or IT people. They say we come to the office at 8 in the morning, we leave at 1 or 1 in the night. So we are eating everything in the canteen. So please make our cafeteria food healthy. So that is another area where dietitians have a huge role to play. Healthy menu for schools. Today there is a huge focus on schools having healthy meals. So there are schools which are employing dietitians, full time, where you work with the the cafeteria staff, the catering staff, and you can plan the menus. You can actually help counsel patients, the students with parents. In fact, my son's school has a dietitian and she actually charts out the diets for our children, especially if they're doing sports or for anything, because you want them to be alert in school. So school nutrition, you can do school nutrition workshops, etc. So that's another area. Healthy tiffins we all spoke about, and I know a lot of dietitians have gotten into this. So if anybody asks me, where can I get healthy tiffin, I will always give a dietitian friend's number because I know that that person will really get healthy tiffins. Because unfortunately, somebody who's working for one of these very famous healthy tiffins, which is not run by a dietitian but by somebody else, she was telling me that they're giving ketogenic diet to renal patients, high sodium diets. Yes, and she was finding it so she didn't want to work there because she said I cannot do this because they're just doing the same thing for everybody. So this is an area and we have to call this out and we have to make sure that people don't do this because people don't understand. Navy and Army. We have a lot of dietitians who are now employed with the Navy and Army who are customizing because remember at these extreme climates where getting food is very difficult. So again planning the diets for that's another area that you could look at. And we have a lot of dietitians who are doing good work in this area. Okay, training, all this, academics. I got into academics again by accident. I was speaking at one of the conferences in 2007 and there was a principal of one of the colleges who was there and I spoke on diabetes and the next day I got a call and she's like, I want to do a specialization course in diabetes, will you help to make the curriculum? It's been 15 years, 16 years today and I have been a part, we started as a PGD program, today it's a master's program and we have specialization in diabetes and cardiac care. Okay, and today academics is big and I think we dietitians can really do well in this area. You have visiting faculty, so in fact if you see this is all that we do, whether it's at colleges or even hospitals, etc. So you can really, and in fact conferences also, a lot of doctors today call you because they want the right information to go. Because remember, patients ask doctors what to eat. And whatever it is, even if we tell, I'm sure some of the practicing dietitians will agree with me. Even if we tell the patient something, patient will again go and ask the doctor. And whatever the doctor says is the gospel truth. rice, don't eat banana, don't eat, such a big don't list. And then I was, no, you don't need to do anything. Luckily, the patient agreed because they didn't want their child to be deprived of all these foods. So these are some of my academic affiliations. Why I'm putting this up here is because there's so much which is out there, even internationally today. In fact, I am now a faculty for the science school for ISPAT, where they're training on research. So if research is your interest area, that is something that you can do. Food product development. I think again Priyanki spoke about it. Today we have a lot of people who reach out to us saying that okay, we want, millets. Last day we celebrated the year of the millets. So how do I make millet cookies? And we do give those inputs. We have a lot of protein supplement companies who reach out to us. What should we do? Because with our clinical experience, they know that they will get better insights. So a lot of people today reach out to us in terms of food product development, and I think that's another great area because I can then confidently prescribe that product because I know that product is genuine. Okay, so that's a very, very good area that you can get into. Apps. So a lot of nutrition apps today, but unfortunately not all of them are accurate. Today you have calorie counters, and I don't think we can get 100% accuracy with our Indian foods. Because sometimes oil goes more, sugar goes more, and again in our country, in western part of India where I am from Gujarat, from the western part of India, they will add sugar and jaggery to every food. Even in Kolkata, they would. Yes, we are very sweet people. We love in Bengal. So again, the calorie count would change for the dal, whether it's made in south versus north versus west. So again, you can't get 100% accurate. We have just piloted our own app, which is for our patients for carb counting. So we're still in the beta testing phase, but this is something that we did and it has picked up, we're just testing it with our patients, but that's another area that you can work on. FSSAI. Okay, today the kind of hangama that's happening on social media with food labels, etc. FSSAI has formed, has passed this rule that every hotel, big restaurant should have calorie counted menus. Here again, a dietitian's role, a nutritionist role becomes very, very important because you can count. Unfortunately, again, there I see a lot of errors. I don't know who is doing it. But this is another area that you can be involved in. Hotels are looking out for dietitians to count calories and nutritional count for their menus. You can work with government bodies. In fact, I've been closely working with FSSAI and doing a lot of programs for them, even for Maharashtra. In fact, for the city of Mumbai, we started something called the Beat Diabetes Movement, where we had 174 and it's still ongoing diabetes clinic where we placed our own dietitians from IDA. And it's an ongoing program, and this is where you can do, it's a very, very good work because here is where the low socioeconomic class comes to. You can reach out to masses. So again, the money may be less, but the satisfaction is great. So everything you can't account to money. Where some places you earn money, some places you do work honorary or for a low cost. So we started something called the Eat Right School Movement, and this is where we partnered with FSSAI. And COVID time we did it online because children were at home, and this is something again that you could do and gained a lot of momentum. In fact, this is an area which we should do. Eat Right, whether it is school or even workplace. This is where you can partner with FSSAI, and they're definitely looking for volunteers. Publications. I think this is another big area. Honestly, as I'm growing older, my interest in this is becoming even more. Yeah, so guidelines. And I'm going to talk to you about, so these are some of the books that I have written. In fact, many more than this, but this is some of the books that I have written. In fact, the carb counting book I wrote for Medtronic. And let me tell you, like when Priyanki said that Shuttle Salis is a brand or NHS is a brand, let me tell you, when I was writing, I wrote the first carb counting book is when my previous company was not doing well and they couldn't pay me a salary. Okay, so they told me, okay, you work only half time so that they can pay only half the salary, which also they paid me after 6 years or 6 months or whatever. But that time I started writing this carb counting book, and then I didn't have the money to publish it. So I reached out to a company, I'm not going to name the company, I reached out to a company saying I want to publish it, and they were negotiating on the cost with me. They were wanting to pay me very little. And I said, no, I don't think, because so much of effort has gone in, when you're taking pictures, cooking, etc. And you know what, they turned around, a person from there turned around and told me, but you are not a brand like so-and-so, how can you charge? And today, let me tell you, I feel very, I don't know, it's not proud, but I feel happy that I took it up, I tried that way. I felt very, very bad, because somebody was like, looking down on me, but today that same person who told me that sits in the is in the regular area, and I'm sitting in the faculty area with all the top doctors of the country. Okay, so you can create. So take every brick that is thrown at you and build your own castle. Okay, so don't get demotivated. There will be a lot of people who tell you many things, but don't get demotivated. Just get up and go forward, because that is the way to go, and create your own niche. In fact, the book that I wrote, okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about this book. I don't know how much time I have. 5-10 minutes I have? Yeah. So this book, I was talking to my mentor, Dr. Asgamkar. He's no more, but he was my mentor, my parent, everything. He started the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation 40 years ago. It's going to be the 40th year this year. And I was telling him, I used to, like Priyanki was saying, so much of, unqualified people, quacks, giving out a lot of inaccurate information. So every day we wake up and we get so much on WhatsApp and people asking us, is this right, is this correct, etc., etc. So I was telling him, he said, Shari, so much knowledge you have, why don't you write a book? And that's when, this book was born. He said, you write the book. And it was my father's 25th death anniversary. Because I lost my father very early when I was 17. Others, I would have been doing medicine today. I lost my father 6 days before my results. And I lost my mother's mother 10 days before my father passed away. So 12th of May and 22nd of May. But, God had his own plans. And I wanted to do something. So my, Abba told me that, why don't you write a book? And I said, okay, I'll write the book, and from the sales of the book, I will donate all the money that comes from the sales of the book to children living with diabetes who cannot afford insulin, who cannot afford their fees. And today I'm telling you, we have donated so much and we continue to do it. The book has been one of the best sellers. In fact, even today I see every day in my office couriers going out, and we are, buying insulins for our patients, we are paying school fees, we are doing treatments, paying for treatments, etc. And this I thought was the best tribute I could give my father, which was, doing some kind of a big puja and all of that. I didn't think it made sense, because you would, and unfortunately it came during COVID, but this really, and in fact you won't believe it, I didn't even have anybody write a foreword for my book, because, Dr. Asgamkar was in a rush that you would release it, because he knew his end was coming. He had cancer and he wanted to be there for the release. So we released it, I think Indrajit knows about it. We released it on March 1st, and March 18th lockdown was announced and we lost him in August. So honestly, we wouldn't have, and I didn't have the time, but you won't believe it when Dr. Mohan, and I'm sure all of you know Dr. Mohan, Dr. B. Mohan, and I was asked to do a book kind of a review, and I asked Dr. Mohan, and Dr. Mohan said, okay, send me the book. I sent him the book. I received a call from Dr. Mohan saying that I would like to write a foreword for it. After the book was released, so we had a foreword by Dr. Mohan, we had a foreword by Dr. Jagdish Madar, who is the principal of SVT, Dr. Shobha Udupi, Kopikar ma'am, and everybody else, So honestly, there was nobody in the beginning, but the second edition has got forwards from so many, because everybody came forward and said, we want to write it for you. So I think that, sometimes you don't plan things, but God has better plans. Only thing is you have to be honest and sincere in what you do. And we won, in fact it even won an award. Okay, so it won an award, and I was really surprised from where this came, but the book also won an award. Again, we keep contributing, you can contribute to medical textbooks and journals, etc. So these are some of our publications. In fact, there are lots of them. I was the first Indian dietitian to be invited as a co-author for the nutrition guidelines for type 1 diabetes by Aspire. Okay, so this also happened. In fact, as we are speaking, I'm spearheading more 3 guidelines. So we are going to have the PCOS guidelines for India, which are going to be released soon. We're going to have the RSSDI type 1 diabetes guidelines on nutrition, RSSDI type 2 guidelines on nutrition, and the safest guidelines, which all hopefully will release this year. Okay, so we have a huge role to play. People are looking for good dietitians with good knowledge. So here is where you can contribute, and honestly, I did reach out to them, they reached out to me, and that's where it started. So again, it's great to have our own guidelines by people in the area, and I've made sure that I've involved people who are in this field working in the area of type 1 diabetes. Again, intermittent fasting. Everybody is talking about intermittent fasting, and that's when we decided, let's do something, because we do prescribe IF. And Dr. Mohan's, one of his team member, Ranjani, who's a very dear friend of mine, she said, Shari, you have so much data, why don't you publish? Because honestly, as practicing dietitians, we get so busy. We have a lot of data, but we don't have time to publish. Because we don't have the time and we don't have the money, because we don't get grants, so we can't publish. But she helped me, and we published our first study. In fact, it's the first study from India on intermittent fasting. okay, that we published from our clinic. It had only 32 patients data, but something to begin with, like a pilot. So this is another Western guidelines and Western data cannot be applied on us Indians. We are very, very different. So what works on them, and because they eat very differently, they have a very different phenotype. So again, very important is to have our own data and work, collaborate. You can collaborate with different centers, seek mentors. Okay, go and ask. People are more than ready to help. I'm very fortunate that today I have mentors whom I've reached out to because I've realized the importance of research. I'm very interested in this area. So research is another area that you can really look at. It's very satisfying. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of stress. You will have sleepless nights. Okay, because sometimes you know how it is with data. You really don't know what's coming. But it is a very, very good area. And in fact, today nutraceuticals, F&B industry, everybody is looking at research for their products itself. So you can collaborate, do some kind of honorary work, maybe getting attached to some NGO. In fact, we are attached to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation in Mumbai, which was again started by ABBA, and we have more than 2,000 people with type 1 diabetes that we consult, and this is another area that you can look at. So do some kind of CSR activity, because that will give you a lot of satisfaction. Sometimes with your job, it may be difficult, you may not get the opportunity. So maybe on a weekend, instead of sleeping long hours, you can actually get associated to some kind of an NGO. We have DAY, which is there in West Bengal. Indrajit and team are doing a fantastic job. So you all can really, go do the awareness programs, the screening programs. It's amazing the kind of work they do. So you have your own, NGO which is here, which you can also collaborate with. Okay, I think this is another important thing which Priyangi mentioned, stay hungry to learn. Why put up my certificates is not to show off. Honestly, this is not something which I want to show off, but like Priyangi said, be an eternal student. Every year I make sure that I at least do 2 courses. 1 or 2 courses, it's very hectic. It's not easy at all. With work to do this is very difficult. But today you have to stay updated because there's so much which is evolving in the field of nutrition, So do different courses. Like, I didn't know about ketogenic diet. Honestly, people used to come and say, should I do it? And I used to say no initially. And I used to see people are doing it, but they're doing it with a quack. And then ending up with a lot of, complications. So that's when I decided, okay, let me do the ketogenic course. And we have ketogenic dietitians who are running this course. So I actually did the course. I did sports nutrition. I did an international sports nutrition, which I saw was not really adaptable for our Indian, population. So I did a course which is for Indians. So, we have people who are running these courses, qualified dietitians who are very, very creditable people. Okay, so there are a lot of courses. During COVID, I did the Encore nutrition course. So BMN College in Mumbai offers it, so it's an online course again. So that is something that you can do. So sky is the limit, but be a learner. As they say, stay hungry, stay foolish. If you are going to say, I know everything, then that's the end of your journey. Please keep learning, please keep upgrading. Very, very, very important is to keep learning and this. In fact, I was even, I was the first Indian dietitian again to be honored with the Alan Rash Fellowship, where I went to Australia and studied for 2 months. So I worked in a hospital in Australia and looked at how they manage their patients, because they have a lot of Indian population, worked, shadowed dietitians there, shadowed doctors. So again, you can go internationally. In fact, there are so many of our dietitians who are now going to international centers and learning. So that is also something that you could do. Again, you can be a part of different bodies. In fact, I'm the part of ISPAD, which is the International Society of Pediatric and Adolescent Diabetes. And in fact, again, I'm the first Indian dietitian to be in the advisory council. And I was surprised when I won with the highest number of votes. I couldn't believe it because I was not even applying for the position. And I was called by them saying that apply. So remember that, sometimes you feel that I'm doing so much, but I'm not getting the results. Remember, God is watching you, and if you're persistent and you're hardworking, and if you're sincere and honest, there'll be something. Somebody is watching you, and somebody will come. You will not even realize it. So don't get dejected. That's my only thing, because sometimes you keep questioning, why good things are not happening. But there is a time for everything. Okay, so don't lose hope when it doesn't happen, because it will surely happen. and I am a live testimony to it. In fact, I am also the chair for the SIT, which is a special interest group for type 1 diabetes, and now I host sessions globally for dietitians, and it's an amazing opportunity, and we feel great as an Indian because we always think that we always undervalue ourselves, but honestly we are the most hardworking people. Again, transforming lives, and I've shared these pictures. Another thing that I want to tell you while I'm sharing these pictures is, please don't go on social media or on WhatsApp and share pictures without permission. Okay, share chats. I see a lot of chats being shared. I know we feel very enthusiastic about it, but people don't feel happy about their numbers being shared, their weight, their body fat. Do not share any of this without consent. So I have shared this with permission. These are some of my very enthusiastic clients who have been my biggest brand ambassadors. I do not believe in PR. Today you have PR companies who charge you 1 lakh. In fact, some of these people who are these influencers have 2-3 PR agencies whom they are paying 2-3 lakhs to. Your PR is your patient. Your PR is your client. If you are going to do good work, they will give you patience. They will, make sure that you do well in life. So make sure that whatever you do in terms of service, give quality service, because they will give you. In fact, even in corporates, when we have people, when they leave an organization and they join the next, I know that the next organization also I'm going to get, as my client, because you know that your service is good. So always focus on good service. Money will come. The focus should not be money, though money is very important, but the focus should be good service and grab every opportunity that comes your way. That is the only value add. I think Priyanki spoken about this campaign against nutrition quacks, because I think it's very important that as a dietitian, a qualified dietitian, we do something for our fraternity. A lot of people think, why I'm bothered? My career is doing well, why should I bother about what is happening? But that is not true. You have to give the right information. In fact, on this page, we keep sharing a lot of information. Nowadays, doctors send me, Shaili Lokri, can you do something on this? Send me a post so that I can forward it to my patients. So we have a lot of doctors following. But like Priyanki again said, I see a lot of qualified dietitians who write a lot of rubbish. Okay, just Google pe dekh ke they forward, and it really disheartens me. So be very well read. Make sure whatever you share is evidence based. Very important, because sometimes doctors will send me saying, see, this is a qualified dietitian saying this, and then I have no face to show. So very important is when we are pointing one finger at others, make sure that the other 4 fingers are not pointing. Everybody is waiting to catch us. So be very particular, and that's the only way we can actually gain some respect for our fraternity. These are all the awards that I have won. I'm sharing this with you is only because to tell you that I was a very ordinary person with no godfather. Nobody in my field has ever done, in my family has done nutrition. Nobody is an entrepreneur. In fact, I'm the first entrepreneur in my family. My mother really did not understand what I was doing, because she kept telling me, you have to pay LIC, you have to pay this investment, that investment. I kept telling her I have no money. And she's like, what are you doing? Okay, but that is how it's going to be. You may not earn money. I always believe, like you have the 1,000 days of life. We are focusing, even in entrepreneur journey, you have the 1,000 days of life there. For the first 1,000 days, don't expect any returns. You will not get. In fact, you will keep putting in money. After 1,000 days, it will start picking up. So for this 1,000 days, you have to be prepared. You have to have your funds. If you don't have the funds, then it won't be possible for you to run, especially if you're the breadwinner for the family or if you're a contributor. So very important is that, and awards will keep coming. And even if awards don't come, today we know a lot of awards are bought also. I know when people post their awards on Facebook, I know that okay, he's paid money for it, because even I have received an invite for the same one, which I refuse to take. So don't pay for awards. Awards, the best award is your patient doing well, your client doing well. I think that is the best thing. Nobody is looking at your awards when you die. Okay, so very important is that. So just to end, I think every great dream begins with a dreamer. Keep dreaming and have a passion and be fueled with passion, determination, honesty, ethics, and you will reach your goal. Okay, that is the message that I want to give you. And I am nothing without my team. So I started alone, but today we have a 16-member women team, all women team, who are fantastic, doing great work. And today, whatever NHS is only because of my team. Okay, so thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking to you all, and I'll be happy to interact with you all during.
ma'am.
Standing ovation to such a wonderful legend. We really had a legend in our destination. So big hand to my all-time favorite, my inspiration, that is Teresa. So fantastic. We learned so much. So thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing knowledge and insights which we will surely apply in our professional practices. I would like to request you, ma'am, to please come up here, and I will again like to request Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee, ma'am, to please come upon and give a token of appreciation to our respected Miss Cyril, ma'am.
A real moment of honor and pride for NSHM.
I think I actually thought that we are running late, so I did not really say, but Dr. Anuradha has been so wonderful. I'm telling you, for all her students, you are blessed to have her. I see the passion that she has for her students. She's always reaching out to me to take interns, and train her students, and she's so passionate, and she's such a lovely human being, so down to earth, and I think it's beautiful. Honestly, I was on a travel sabbatical. I decided I'm not going to travel for 2 months, but I couldn't say no to her because she was, at the moment she's called me. In fact, yesterday I was supposed to be Kochi, and I said no, but then when she called me, I couldn't say no. Okay, so she's really somebody who's so dear to me, and I think
my dream coming true. It's my dream. I never dreamed to be in Durgapur, but now that I'm here and I'm staying here for last 18 years, it's basically my dream coming true today. So I'm so blessed to have Selina here. With all my heart, with all my soul, this is my dream which came true today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You're really blessed, and make sure that you'll, get the best out of her mentorship, and I'm telling you, the sky is the limit. Even if you are in Durgapur, I was talking to somebody in the morning who's from Jharkhand. Don't think you are from small towns or small places. Because if you're good in your work, wherever you are, you will be noticed. And I promise you, if you all have anything, if you feel you need help, I'm always there. Always feel free. I think Sudeshna knows that. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm only there for my fraternity because I want to see each one of you achieve the stars. Thank you so much.
So much. Thank you for everything,
I will be requesting ma'am for staying back for some minutes. Ma'am, Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I will be requesting Dr. Brojen Chaudhuri, sir.
Don't be so fast.
Yes.
Just see what we are doing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is like a token of appreciation from all of us. This is a special acknowledgement to Dr. Brojen Chaudhuri. Though being a doctor, he's so supportive, and he's always supporting our practice, our trade, and he really understands what nutritionists can do that is not possible for the doctors to do it. Because their terms and our terms should be synced and should not be dictated by them. So I'm so thankful. He's my husband, of course, but at the same time, what he preaches and what he practices, that makes a difference in my career, in my field. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please visit the stalls put up by our sponsors. We are extremely thankful to them.
I request Anuradha ma'am to please welcome Mrs. Kalpana Rai ma'am. Please ma'am.
Please, ma'am. It's an honor to get my ma'am. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for coming here and visiting us in Durgapur.
Thank you so much ma'am. I request Mr. Indrajit Mujumdar sir to please come. so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, let's begin with our technical session 3 on nutritional strategies for disease prevention and management by our speaker, Dr. Arnold Chatterjee, sir. He is an assistant professor, course coordinator, Department of Nutrition, Asansol Girls College, affiliated to Kazi Nazrul University, Asansol, West Bengal. He has completed his PhD in nutrition from the Molecular Biology Division from ICMR, National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad. He was also awarded the Swan Padak Award in the Experimental Nutrition category at the annual National Conference of Indian Dietetic Association. I request sir to kindly come up on the stage and start with this informative session. Please, sir.
Hello. Thank you, Anuradha ma'am, and such a great lecture we witnessed, and it's a pleasure to meet Civil Studies madam, because when I was in NIM, Dr. V. Mohan is a scientific advisory committee member of NIM. So I joined as an MSc student, and very few boys who this as we are all thankful to Karan Johar कि हुनर का कोई gender नहीं होता, so हुनर का कोई subject भी नहीं होता. There is not like that only the girls they study and this nutrition science. There are very few, but we are increasing and we are coming up in this subject as well. So Dr. V. Mohan often used to tell about madam, like a lot of research are going on. But NIM is essentially a public health institute. So our mandate is it's around the public health domain and all that. So so I'm fortunate that the name which I heard long back, and it's now I was sitting just next to her. It is truly a great moment, and I was telling my student that you must attend this session because it will be inspirational, and I think my student they got to know that why I was preaching for ma'am that you must come and listen her, because a lot of top-notch research they spoke about her, and we today we witnessed, and thankful to Anuradha ma'am and NSHM and all the associated people, those who organized this conference. We are really thankful. But why me? I was asking Anuradha madam because I'm truly not a clinician, and never practiced any clinical nutrition. I never dealt with the clients. Don't have much experience about it. Only thing what I did, that was during my MSc. I went for the 2 months of 2 months of internship program in Care Hospital, Banjara Hills, under the supervision of Dr. B. Ravindra Reddy and one of the notable nutritionist dietitian, that is Dr. Radha Chara Reddy. So that was my only experience, and Dr. Radha Reddy madam also told me that you could have taken up this research in clinical nutrition, but I had something in my mind, because as madam was telling, even Priyanki madam was also telling that a lot of opportunities are coming up. So I took up this molecular nutrition, and that is an emerging field, and that has proved that a lot of myths can be broken down, and we can reach to that molecular level. So the cellular nutrition and the nutrigenomics, I have really worked on that, like sequencing, metagenomic studies. Our lab is doing that particular thing. Dr. Sudhir Ghosh, both of them are from this land, it is from the Bengal. Dr. Sudhir Ghosh, Dr. Sanjay Poshak, and I worked with one more lab, that is molecular cell biology lab in Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostic, that is next to NIM, CCMB and CDMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. And you people feel very happy that the director in charge of CDMD is also from Durgapur, that is our Songita Mukhopadhyay madam. So a lot of people those who were working phenomenally in this nutrition science, Means there is, after certain time and certain step, there won't be any barrier in science, there won't be any barrier that whether you are from molecular, you have a molecular biology, biotechnology, biochemistry background, or you are from, like, I cracked that ICMR life science and UGC home science, both these two and met for getting into the PhD. So means before not a single nutrition students were allowed in molecular biology lab. Though there are a lot of people those who were associated with molecular nutrition, but in hardcore molecular biology lab, I was the first person, those who had a BSc and MSc nutrition background, he got a chance to enter into that lab because Dr. Sujit Ghosh, he was wondering whether I could have achieved it or not. But one person who supported, that was Dr. Krishna Pillai Madhavan Nair, and he's the iron man of this country because a lot of this iron folic acid supplementation which now have been rolling out in this country. And the person behind it, Dr. Krishna Pillai Madhavan Nair. So during my MSc dissertation, I worked with him. So he, supported me, and he told Dr. Sujit Ghosh, he has a fellowship, you must take him. So there was an interview and all that process, but that went through well, and I entered into the molecular biology lab. So there, what happened, one more person, and we met. Usually there is an exchange program, like Dr. Anurag is also there. So in that time, during our MSc days and early PhD days, there was a Obama Singh Knowledge Initiative. So the Barack Obama and Manmohan Singh. So because Manmohan Singh, he felt that malnutrition is a national shame. So we must encourage and propagate nutrition and all that. So what happened during that time? Christopher Duggan came. Christopher Duggan, I think American Journal of Clinical Nutrition (AJCN) is the highest. Means in nutrition, it's one of the highest impact factor journal. So what happened is our Christopher Duggan, he came to NIHS and he told us and he inspired us about many things. And during that time, he also motivated us because he always, Madam was telling that Indians, we are leading, and Dr. Christopher Duggan is an Irish background. So he told a great thing. Like, actually Irish people also underwent this British colonialism, and we Indians also, because in Chittagong, that Master Dasuri Singh, he got very much influenced of this Irish revolution, and their team was built up. So Christopher Duggan is very fond of these Indian people, and he told, the bunch of students we were sitting like this, Dr. Duggan told, Britishers destroyed our morality, and Americans, they destroyed our this nutritional habit. And that's what the Indians, they are suffering a lot of problems, and we are being faced by a lot of non-communicable diseases. So my area of practice is all about nutrigenomics, because I dealt with this biomarker of nutrition for development, where my focus area was zinc. So you will be focusing, you will be finding a lot of relevance to zinc, as Madam and Priyanka Madam, both of them were talking about the micronutrient deficiency and non-communicable diseases. Because most often we think that this non-communicable disease, it is the imbalance of the macronutrient, but now it is the the notion has been shifted, like micronutrient, how it is related to the our this lot of biochemical pathways, and nowadays bioinformatics and everything. The nutrition students, as I felt, because Madam Anuradha Madam and Monisha is my junior. Monisha is also from the same institute where I studied NIM. She did her master's, so she is my junior, and she was the topper of that MSc. Though I didn't get the gold medal, I was the third, but she got the gold medal in MSc course. So it's a really privilege to be here. A lot of knowledgeable people, but the nutrition is truly great subject, because in our I am from also this land. My hometown is Asansol, and I'm fortunate that I studied in NIN and everywhere. But with God plan, I again got a job in Asansol. So that's what this is how the nutrition has a lot of opportunity. You must take up this course, and it has a, this ocean of opportunities. You have already heard about the two eminent speakers, how beautifully they narrated the opportunities, the science, the evidence-based knowledge and everything. So, you can consider here the WHO, they are telling that globally, madam, when I was discussing with Monisha and Anuradha madam that what topic I should cover, because I am a micronutrient guy and I did all this, this 16S RNA sequencing and all this part. But what I will be telling to the students, so Anuradha madam was telling that whatever you have done, you tell that only, and in your perspective you share your knowledge. So the global context is this obesity has been rising, and a lot of people, though in earlier we used to think that India only have this undernourished, undernutrition related problem, but the dual burden, triple burden, this sort of problems, and it has become a public health problem. So now we have to address it. Even you can see here what is that? So even in ICMR bulletin also we have seen that this India is also facing the obesity related problem. And see here, madam also shared about the NIHS data. See here, you might see that in context of BMI, like this basal metabolic or this body mass index. So what happens is you might do not find much differences in BMI level, but when it comes to our waist to hip ratio, then you will find a huge number of people, there is a discrepancy in the waist to hip ratio. So what is happening here? You will find the people, those who are having higher waist to hip ratio, and lot of other associated disease. They are also having the anemia. They are also having this, diabetes related problem, hypertension related problem. So we can consider it like rather than obesity, the adiposity, which is playing a great role. So that's what I will be focusing, means this body mass index. It is not a proper classification to identify, particularly for the Asian population, because where we all might have read about the PPAR gamma. So this PPAR gamma, the expression, their differential expression profile, when we check everywhere, because we have studied it in the rat model, but in the population level as well, the PPAR gamma, that expression is much higher for the South Asian population. So it is important to understand the molecular context of this particular situation, and it has a huge burden on our economic context, because all might have read about the Amartya Sen, his great book Development as Freedom. In Development as Freedom, he proved that the malnutrition is directly associated with the country's progress and the economical growth and everything. So if the country is not nutritionally well built, at a certain point of level, economic peak will reach, but it will slowly you witness the decline. Even many of you are fond of Yuval Noah Harari. Now it is Harari. Even Foucault, his great book in Discipline also, he mentioned about that how important is to have a regular regime of the nutritional advices. So it is important that all the thinkers and everywhere the nutrition is getting the prominence. So it has a huge cost. Even in 2060, the 440 billion US dollar India has to pay if we are not sincere enough to correct the situation, to take the proper intervention strategy. So this is the classification model for the Asian population, where not the 25, 23 is our cutoff. And here the waist to hip circumference, their ratios I have mentioned here. So these cutoffs are meant for the Indian population, as Madam was telling that and it is true, because when we were the students, we used to get exposure for clinical nutrition, for MCP, Nutrition and Clinical Practice. That was the only journal available in the NIHS. So we had the access to that particular journal, and we had a JPENI, Journal of Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition, where we used to get all that ISPEN and ASPEN guidelines, European Society for Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition and American Society for Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition. So during our MSc days or early PhD days, we didn't have much Indian guidelines, and truly we are now happy that lot of Indian nutrition practitioners, dietitians, they are now collaborating with the research institute, as Madam told about the SBT, where Jagmeet Madan, she is the, I think, president of our Indian Dietetic Association, and she is a, executive council member, EC member of our Nutrition Society of India as well, and, even our lot of Seema Madam from Delhi. So a lot of people are associated with the research, and the integrated approach of research is now getting reflected on the recommendation. So that's what Priyanki Madam and Salil Madam, they were talking about, that it is not about the quack, it is not about the Google search, it is the complete evidence-based, and in evidence there is a hierarchy of the evidence, because in your epidemiological study you might have studied the case control study, the cohort studies. Now we have doubly blind randomized controlled trial. When the RCT is being promoted, it has been proved, then we must incorporate in our recommendation. So that's what the RCT, we have to conduct a lot of RCTs, because recently, in Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, I was reading in Mumbai also that Jagmeet Madam, their group, they did an RCT on almonds. The recommendation of the even Madam was also part of the almond group, that how much almonds, because everyone recommends almonds, but in omega-3 fatty acid, that how much omega-3 fatty acid has to be there in your body, that it cannot be like, Amrit, like as much as you consume, you will be like become a Superman. So it is not like that. So there must be a certain guideline, but it was always the foreign recommendation, European or American recommendation, but hardly we had any Indian recommendation. But it is a truly great moment for us. So, Edmonton obesity staging system, which classifies the obesity based upon the severity, and the severity that impacts greatly on the obesity, adipose topography, and the barometric behavior, and dysfunctionality of the genes and dysregulation of the genes. Little bit I will touch upon that. So this is the bariatric surgery, and at what stage what you have to do, that I have mentioned here. So this is the etiology. All of you might have read in your undergraduation, like what are the how obesity is becoming a part of that. And here we have to understand the essentiality of the epigenetics. And in epigenetics, the two major factors of the epigenetics, and that is nutrition and environment. If your nutrition is good, if you are properly maintaining the nutritional status, and the environment, which is, it is completely not it's an independent variable, it's not a dependent variable. So we can't control the air pollution or some other pollution, but we can control the nutrition, we can control our lifestyle modification, and in that respect, we can alter the, differential expression of the genes. All of you might have heard about the RT-PCR during the COVID time, and all of you understood that, that delta CT value and everything, if it is low, that means the higher prognosis, if it is higher, that means a lower prognosis. So we all understood the importance of the genomics, importance of the exercise of the molecular nutrition at in the nutritional science context. So it is important to apply it. It is important to consider the geographical consideration. It is important to apply the genomic makeup of the human being. As Madam was telling, that people are charging 2.5 lakhs. But yes, earlier when we started, we used to do the sequencing in ion thoron, and that was the life technology machine, and that was the cost of running was 70,000, and I almost wasted 6 samples, so 4.5 lakhs I just threw in the drain. But I went to, our Dr. Shubhi Ghosh was taking me to, Hemlata Madam, she is the director of NIHS, and, she was asking for the review report. In every Friday we have a journal club, so Friday we have to, either you have to report in the lab, or either sometimes director would call your team and you have to report there in director's office. So Director Madam was telling that, Arnav, I have been seeing you that you are doing a lot of this sequencing and all that, what is the output of that? So I told Madam in a very nervous manner that, ma'am, I wasted almost 6-7 samples, and Sudeep sir was telling, my dad was saying, do you know how much was the running cost? It was almost 4.5 lakhs. So, but madam was laughing at us and she was telling, we are here to support you. We are not the, a profit-making institute. We are here to train the human resources. And we need the nutrition students to learn all these things so that they could go and they could train others to take up. And it's very easy nowadays, Illumina mindset that machine has come with the Partech flow. You can run the sample, you can analyze, and you can just throw it, and you can check lot of what particular pathway is going to be altered, what particular the molecular dockings and all these bioinformatics tools are inbuilt in the Partech flow. But the thing is little bit costly, it is true. But if you have institute, but nowadays you can do the outsourcing and all that, even in Kolkata, Mumbai and all the metro cities, they have sequencing facilities. So the nutrition students are, taking up all these things. So the physiological domain and all that. So my concern is rather than obesity to adiposity and how I address this, that is our concern. And this is, inflammation level will go up as per the adiponectin that is not properly working. White adipose tissue, we have to control that. How to regulate and how to channelize the white adipose tissue according to your dietary recommendation, that is important. And here the one emerging aspect is coming, that is chrononutrition. And we have been associated with this particular thing because tomorrow is again the scientific advisory committee meeting is there, and our group, even Sudeep Ghosh sir is also, I'm still associated with our lab, and we have formulated a project. I'm just giving you the little bit of idea about that what we are going to do, because it is a hypothetical model. Don't take them, you can take the pictures, but this is just, we have designed one thing. Like you might have read about the circadian rhythm and clock gene theories and how it is important. And what our group is going to do, that we have classified the peripheral clock genes and the central clock gene, and this is the things which is our group is going to do. Our group has already done it because it is in press, and this is the hypothetical model for that. As madam was telling about the hidden hunger and micronutrient deficiency, see how this micronutrient deficiency would alter the entire metabolic process, and how it is going to impact on the our this metabolic syndrome, obesity, like diabetes we consider them, like diabetes and obesity. See here, so when the proper timing has been made, means you have been following a proper timing, as well as you have a good lifestyle approach. Today morning the principal sir and other respected dignitaries, they were telling us that we knew about and we are aware that we all need a good nutrition, but the timings are very different. How to control it? So what are the changes happens at the genomic level? If we can screen it out, then only we can further coming to the recommendation. Because if we don't know the severity of the situation, it is very difficult for us to go for the intervention. So at the very basic, we understood that at the colonocytes, at the colon, at the large intestine, the short-chain fatty acid production levels will goes up, because that if you are following a proper clock, so the the beneficial gut microbiota that will be there. And this G protein couple receptors are associated in everywhere. So this G protein couple receptor 39, 41 and 43, they are playing a huge role, which will activate the mitogen activated phosphate pathway, and that will improve the lot of transjunctional proteins like occludins. So this transjunctional protein occludin will have a huge role to enhance the differentiation, to enhance the Paneth cells. And you all know that Paneth is, Dr. Paneth was a very enthusiastic immunobiologist, his work in immunology is truly a marvelous, but as Swami Vivekananda, he also died at the age of 37, but he is one of the youngest person who got the Nobel Prize at the hardly 30. So Paneth cells, which has a huge role in the stem cell, intestinal stem cell generation. So once there is a dysregulation, there is a chance that our gut might get the differentiation of the intestine will get hampered. So if the gut integrity, that might get impacted badly. So if the occludin level that is good. So the panic cells will have a greater impact. The panic cells will act on that. So there is a higher chance, as you all know, that like our fingertips, our gut is also very, very unique. So if the gut is very unique, the response of a particular diet, there are a lot of people they sometimes come up and tell, I'm just drinking water, still I'm putting on weight. But there are a lot of people those who tell, I eat so much, but I still I'm lean. So where is the difference? Because this gut, it reacts or it responds to a particular nutrient very differently. So what happens is, if that is working properly, the ferroprotein level and the zinc importer 4, their expressions will go up. This early idea that they antagonist each other. These divalent metal cations, they antagonist each other. Like there is only one transporters, like DMT1, divalent metal transporter 1. So we thought that there is a multiple micronutrient supplementation never works, because this iron zinc, when you supplement together, they will not get absorbed. But nowadays we have seen, if there is a difference in timing, if you supplement with the zinc earlier and then if you incorporate the iron, the absorption level is much higher, because zinc get absorbed with the zinc related transporters and iron get absorbed with the DMT1. So there is no antagonistic effect, but yes, if you immediately just your supplementation has been at like one particular dose of iron and particular dose of zinc, there will be antagonistic effect. But if it is in a bolus form, if it is in a micronutrient combined form, there is a lesser chance that is going to antagonist each other. So we found that yes, the growth signaling, they thought mammalian target of this receptors. So that is that their expression level goes up and they will improve the iron intake as well. So what happens, if the iron levels are maintained in the serum, what will happen? The ETC, electron transport chain, where all the oxidative stress has to be reduced at the electron transport chain. So what happens? Lot of enzymes which are associated with the electron transport chain. The cofactor for the electron transport chain related enzymes are essentially iron. So if the iron level, if the hidden hunger, that's what Madam was telling, the hidden hunger, the micronutrient deficiency is also a major part, because nowadays you will hardly find the people those who are not getting the grains because of the government policy. Our public distribution system has been really remarkably, they have been improved. So in public distribution system, the availability of the rice and this everything is available. So the macronutrient is playing a great role. But still we are getting the cancer, still we are getting the obesity, diabetes, because of this hidden hunger, because this complex dynamics of the iron, zinc, and a lot of other things, chromiums are there. I'm not focusing on that, but my research area is only this iron, zinc, and their interaction and how it is having an influence on the non-communicable diseases. That because earlier we used to think about the marker, now we have to think about the implementations of the marker. And similarly, if there is a not proper circadian rhythm, what will happen? The function fatty acid level will go down, because the colonization of the bacteria are getting decreased, and similarly you can expect cascade of reaction, which we earlier showed that is not going to happen. So what will happen is a signaling pathway is going to be blocked, and so the absorption of the zinc and the absorption of the iron will not take place, and more than 300 of enzymes they need the zinc. And the most important thing, why the iron deficiency causes you very low, you will feel numb, not getting activated, because the electron transport chain that needs iron to reduce the oxidative stress. So that is a very important domain of our work which we have been focusing on. And this is the Dr. Pullakhanda Raghu is one of the great researcher in zinc biology from NIHS, and their proposed network is like that. Even the diabetes zinc is associated with our insulin packaging, particularly zinc transporter 8, that is very, very essential. The expression of that on the down regulation of that plays a great regulation with regulated approach for the diabetes. Because the zinc transporter 8, if it is not getting properly expressed at the pancreatic level, what will happen, my dear friends? There is a lesser chance that insulin get packed. Insulin is having how many subunits? 6, isn't it? So that 6 subunits has to be well packed to come forward and get delivered. So if the 6 subunits of the zinc is not getting properly packed, so how could you expect that this will travel and will go to all the insulin dependent cells? Majority of the cells are insulin dependent. There are very few which are non-insulin dependent, like our central nervous system and the RBCs and all that. They don't need the insulin. But rest of the others, you have to have a good insulin source to throw them out to throw the glucose inside the cells. And for that, GLUT transporters GLUT4, if the zinc level is not getting optimum maintained at the plasma level, what will happen? The down regulation, that block will happen, insulin signaling pathway will get blocked, and the GLUT4, the amount of insulin needed to open the gate will not be available at the plasma level, and slowly people will get sensitive to the receptors will not work. So type 2 diabetes, the chances of type 2 diabetes will also get enhanced. Even the type 1 diabetes, there is a chance of getting enhanced. So these are the recommendations which has come forward from the different Indian context, meta-analysis and all that we have been working on. And whenever we come to the energy recommendation, means at the clinical level, 500 kilocalorie deficit diet and all that. Though I'm not an expert clinical dietitian, these are all my reading understanding, because I work on the lab and means I hardly get a chance to interact with the people. But this is the energy densities and all that we have to maintain properly, so that we can cut down the energy and make them aware about that whatever the energy they need and what are the nutrients they need. And so that in 7th May, that is my birthday, in 2024, NIHS has come out with a great this new dietary guideline, and there you can find that, you can see here. So they have come out with that all the different food groups which we have, basic 7 food groups, basic 11 food groups. In that food groups, what are the recommended allowances are needed, that has been mentioned in the My Plate. And this is the typical 2000 kilocalorie non-vegetarian diet which they have come out. And I think this is one of the best approach for the women and for the men, because the fat distribution, body composition, that is little bit different. But at the early phase, the differences won't be there. But later stage, after 12 years of age, the body composition varies, and as per the body composition and as per the need of the human being, we have to customize the diet. And this is the dietary guideline, and where the very first time both of the madam, they were talking about the nutrition education, and the importance of the nutrition education has been incorporated in the dietary guidelines. The reading of the the nutrition level has become a part of the dietary advices. So before choosing up, before taking up, or before going for the malls, and if you are just taking up any sort of food, you must read the food levels, because India economically we are transforming. So there is a very huge workload in men and women. So people are shifting towards the canned food, to processed food and the convenience food. And for the convenience food, what sort of nutrients we need? Because when we work, because particularly I think she might have heard about the Snehasri Shaha. She was the PhD scholar of Dr. J. M. Subbarao. So Subbarao sir and their group, they do this nutrition education related work. And when Snehasri, their group was working, a lot of perception came out. When they talk about the energy-rich food, so the moms and their dads, they were telling that, yes, my child, they need energy. Why should I cut down the energy? Because energy means, because earlier madam was telling the tummy means prosperity. This is the sign of prosperity. If it is, that approach was there, like, a lot of tummies means wealthy, rich people are there. So earlier people used to think like that. Even when they went to the rural areas, and they were talking to the farmers and everybody, and they were asking for the cuddle down of salt consumption. So they gave a very good practical example. Like, if we curtail down the salt, what will happen? Because we work in the field for 7 to 8 hours minimum. So we feel dehydrated. So we need salt. We like chips. We like salty food. That makes us, little bit energetic. That makes us to do works. So this is the real life scenario, what we feel at the lab and what is actually happening at the land, that is completely different. And here, means in academic platform we need nutrition students, in the clinical setup we need nutrition students, and at the public health level we need the nutrition students. So your opportunities are growing up, you have a great role to play, and there are very few boys, those who are sitting at the back. I was telling you, don't feel afraid that this is all given. I took it up this subject because Bengal had a different setup of mind. We had a school service commission, so the nutrition was a very lucrative subject that time. So if you take this subject and write the exam, you will get a government school job very easily. So I opted for that time. And the way it showed us the opportunities of nutrition science, I am really blessed that I got a chance to study in that particular institute, and that opened up a lot of opportunities. I came to know that a lot of research works are going up in tough, nutrition, like Texas, in tough universities, and all the best universities in the world, they have a nutrition branch. Like if you go to the Princetons and everywhere, they have a nutrition, Wahio universities everywhere. All the top-notch universities, they have your subject. So you can understand the importance of your subject. So there is truly means oceans of opportunity, and sky is also not the limit. We have went to the moon, so we have already reached that how to cross the barrier of the sky. So there is a great opportunity that all the nutrition, even one of our, Monisha must be knowing that one fellow, he is also working with the Russian team for this, space nutrition. He studied in MSc in NIHS, and now he's pursuing his PhD from some Russian institute where he has been associated with the space nutrition. So we have to make the people aware, and we have to be attentive, like madam, both of them were telling about the importance of the consent, importance of the ethical clearance for your research. Second half we have a Moshini Lodh madam from Health World Hospital, and she is the in charge of the Institutional Ethical Committee clearance. So you have to be ethically very, very clear about what research you are going to get, because even the questionnaires also, you can't ask anybody's name until and unless you don't have a proper consent, until and unless you don't have a proper ethical clearance. When we are dealing with the human, we have to be ethically and very judicious about the data what we are getting. We have to implement, we have to publish the data, and we have to take care about all this approach, so that advocacy we have to make and then address it properly. We have to address, because in the student life nowadays the NEP this new education policy has been implemented. Those who are practicing dietitian, they will be having professor in practice job, like all the universities soon. I think wait for 2-3 years, they will be getting an offer, because university will declare the professor of practice position. You have to, like those who are the practicing clinician, they will get a job in the universities, because we have to do it. Government has opened up, like now the Prime Minister, that economic advisor, that is Sanjeev Sanyal. He earlier used to do the economic advices for the corporate company. Now he has been incorporated in the NIHS. Even my friend, Akriti Gupta, she was associated with us. Now she is associated with the NIHS. So you can understand the government, when madam was telling that she has been associated with a lot of policy framing. Government is coming up with a lot of policies. And for the food, because don't feed yourself, feed your cells. We often talk about it. Like people cannot rely on drugs. They cannot rely on the pharmaceuticals. They need food. The doctors, we do respect them, we have a huge respect for them, like we got the Brojan sir, who it has been associated with us, who has been great support and a pillar for us to conduct this seminar to make, in our this Asansol Durgapur, this district, it's a industrial district, has lot of opportunities, but the nutrition awareness was not inculcated in this in the culture of these two cities, which is a very small district also. But we got this sort of conferences, and we hope that slowly the nutrition science will definitely get a place in this district and this state as well. State is already doing good, but this part was neglected. But now we have Indrajit sir, Anuradha madam, and all the respected dignitaries with us, and we believe that nutrition science will also make its mark in this particular district. And we were fortunate that the induction program was conducted by Shalil Selis madam. It's a real honor for us, and as we have come to an end.
Virtually, ma'am has just said it's not what.
Could you please change the slide? That's it. So thank you, and don't. Initial thank you slide. Thank you slide. So actually that is the excuses. Often it comes because when I talk to people, if you tell people if you are having anemia, people will think, oh, whatever it is, what is there, I will have some Nexorange and I will get cured. But they do not understand that anemia is also the basic underlying cause of the leukemia. If you do not correct it, slowly the situations will get aggravated. So the diabetes and obesity, it never runs in your family that you think that it is a completely genetical approach. No, we have the epigenetics, nutrition and environment can correct the situation. So it is nobody runs in your family, that's what you are getting, because there is always a chance to alteration of the, even the gene expression. Because so we are all here to help you, because we are conducting research and we have the practicing dietitians with us. I feel that we will also make a significant contribution in the field of nutrition science. Thank you NSHM, thank you NUTRI-CONCLAVE for inviting me, though I'm not a clinician person, but still Anuradha madam and Monisha, they had the trust that all of you please come forward and share your experiences with the students, so that they get motivated, and whatever the students, they will find that what are the nutrition research has been going on in this particular field, and that the students might get involved in the near future in the nutrition science to come up with the great ideas to solve the problem. So money is definitely an important concern, but solving, giving a solution to a sufferer and a problem-solving approach for the human being, or problem, if you are having a problem-solving approach for the country, everywhere, that is going to reflect in your career, and that is very, very needed. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. Now I request our convener, Dr. Anuradha Mukherjee ma'am, to please give a token of appreciation to sir from our end.
Can I have a question? Please, one more.
Thank you, Dr. Arnold. Yes. Actually, there are a lot of research. Since we are working in the field of diabetes, we know that the gene deficiency and insulin resistance, huge relation. But how to convert this research to community? What's your take?
That's what means, we have to conduct the, this. Nowadays, there are a lot of trainers training program, because the endpoint delivery has been done by the ASHA workers or ICDS workers. So, because those who are truly dealing with the nutrition, means nowadays these public health centers, means I'm a little bit skeptical about the implementation of study of the public health centers. But ASHA and ICDS, that has been going, that has been a truly phenomenal for the nutritional upliftment in this country. Even WHO also, they have also recognized the importance of the ICTs, because that is a truly great program to uplift or the scaling up the nutritional status of the human being. So there is truly a problem, means ICDS workers, they don't know, because nowadays the dietary diversification approach has already been implemented at the ICDS level. So on papers, but yes, that is truly even that question was asked to Esther Duflo, who got the Nobel Prize recently in the MIT, because their JPAL lab is there. So Esther Duflo and Abhijit Vinayak Bandyopadhyay, that their poverty, eliminating the poverty is their research area. Good economics for the hard times. You people read that book. Though if you are nutrition students, that economical background and the understanding of the economics policy will also help you. So the question is, when Esther Duflo was asked that nowadays I was telling about the chrononutrition. Think about our respected Swiggy, Zomato and all the gig workers. How they maintain their chrononutrition? They are supplying the nutrition, but they don't have a designated place at the roadside to stand, to go to the washrooms, nothing. So means we don't have the policies to trickle down impact is there in the economics. So what happens means we have to conduct this sort of seminars, and we have to we have to increase the horizon. Policymakers, like Madam is also associated with the policymakers. Nowadays, policymakers, they understood the problem of nutrition. So, but the thing is, we have to tell them the improvement of the wages of the ICDS worker, that is very less still in this country. But what to do? Because that's revolution. We are just 75 years old. We have to America. A lot of people, they say that America is very developed and all that European country. Think about during the Boston Tea Party, America became independent, and we became independent at 1947. So they got independence almost 200 years back compared to us. Except the China, you cannot imagine the development like other than India. India is still developing. Means we are trying to reach, we are fetching ourselves in a various domains. But still it is, the biggest exercise of democracy is going on in this country. So you have to rely on the democracy, and in a democratic way only, we have to uplift. There is no shortcut. Like China, they have made it. In China, what is the, what they have done? So they just cut if you do not wash your hand, they will cut your hand.
I'm extremely sorry to interrupt in between, because my mentor has already joined. So she is waiting in the lobby since long, but I'm extremely sorry to interrupt in between. It's an honor, both of you. I apologize for the same cause. So now we are getting live, and we are connected virtually to our next speaker and our guest.
Here we end with our technical session, and we'll be starting with our online session. So let's embrace this virtual platform with eagerness, already sensing the enriching experiences that await us.
For the virtual session 1, we have Dr. Anindita Roy Chakravarti ma'am. We welcome you ma'am to our NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024. Dr. Anindita Roy Chakravarti is an assistant professor and HOD of the Department of Food and Nutrition, Maharani Kashishwari College, under the University of Calcutta. She has completed her graduation and post-graduation from the Calcutta University, ranking first class and first in both the examinations, and is a gold medalist and was also a topper in the college service examination as well. She has done her PhD from the University of Calcutta. She has authored 4 books on food and nutrition and has several national and international publications. She will be sharing her knowledge on nutrition education and public health. We request our technical team to please participate in the virtual session. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Completely.
Lucia or this is up to yes. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think there is an echo. Yes, you can mute yourself. Okay. So, Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all of you there, all the people in NUTRI-CONCLAVE. I sincerely apologize for not being able to be physically present there because I know I am missing out on a lot because this NUTRI-CONCLAVE, I'm sure, is turning out to be a dream come true for all the nutritionists or those who are planning to be nutritionists. Thank you, Anuradha. Thank you, everything, and the entirety for inviting me today. I guess Anuradha, you are almost, in fact, I am too your lunch. Cheryl, almost, Priyanki, they are all there, listening on all of your features of technology, and catch up for the next YouTube week. So without much delay and without keeping you much away from your, you need to make me a host so that I can share the screen. Technically, please kindly make me the host because I need to share the screen. Ruchira or the others? Yeah, okay, I get. Till then, I just wanted to talk about, I'm sure all of you have a lot of, yes, I have also. Thank you, I will start sharing the screen, only you just have to confirm whether you are getting to see it or not. Can someone please confirm whether you can see it? Yes, fantastic. Because technical sessions offline and online is a problem. Is the slideshow visible? Is the slideshow visible?
Yes.
The slideshow is moving. It's moving as well.
স্পিকারের সামনে আছে ওই জন্য তো অসুবিধা হচ্ছে
স্পিকারের সামনে আছে বলে বলছে
স্পিকার থেকে দূরে সরে যাও দূরে যাও
What about this? Is this better? It's moving, right? It's moving? It's moving. Fantastic. So I'll start it. So nutrition education and how topic, which obviously we talked about the regulation that builds a nation. Yes, I love the fact that regulation that builds a nation and the picture that I have put here, you can understand. In fact, this picture is so beautiful that I could not help but share it with all of you. And when I end the session, I sincerely believe that all of you would agree with me that nutrition education has to be a part of even school curriculum for all children to make our public health problems just like this. Education and public health to go into the details. Now, I will not go into the definition because most of you are from the background of nutrition. But what is education? Yes, you will be telling me education is the key that holds your future, that holds your future. Absolutely. But education is that helps to change your behavior in a desirable manner. Now, here lies the importance of nutrition and education together. Now, both nutrition and good education go hand in hand, and you can see this cyclic relation between them. There has to be good education to get good health, because that is what we are going to do. And good health will obviously give you sound, better learning. So I'm sure after lunch you will learn a little better because you are all running low on energy. I'm not sure, but please understand than just nutrients put together. It is a lifestyle, it is a way of living, and it should be the foundation, the basis for all education. Now, nutrition education, the word educate comes from learning, sharing knowledge, and bringing something out from within. Now, what is bringing something out from within? Within, because nutrition education should not be only in the books. It should be from here, it should be from here. How many of you, I wish I could see the hands raised up in the audience, but anyways, how many of you can tell me that you've gone to a birthday party where you have been served fruits or maybe a balanced diet like khichdi? Any of you? I don't think so. Not from the meaning. And even for our birthdays, we always have high-calorie cakes, pastries, maybe biryani, the Indian national food as I call it. But we are all from nutrition background. So where is the nutrition education and where is the public health system going? So to relate these two, as I said, education from inside, from within, here and here. So we will have to disseminate information. These are the theoretical steps. But I was sure some students would be there, a lot of students would be there in fact. So I wanted them to just see the theory part, and then I'll give you a few examples to tell you how to go about it, how to educate the society. Now, doing a graduation, post-graduation, PhD degree in nutrition is not, I repeat, is not nutrition education. You might have 10 degrees, but are we nutritionally educated? That is the question, and that is why the question marks. So we will have to focus on the changes, the environmental changes that are taking place. It is a very complex situation, much easier said than done, because there is economics, social factors, cultural factors, food availability, accessibility, other health concerns, everything put together. We will have to consider before imparting nutrition education to any group. So it is not a single person, not you or me, but it is we. From what I believe, NUTRI-CONCLAVE has a lot of people from different fields, nutritionists, from other professionals, doctors. Some of the speakers are doctors, there are food companies, medicine companies. So we, the concept, put it hand in hand to solve the problem of the current scenario of nutrition where fast foods are completely over the picture. So nutrition education is we are going out to the community, we are webinars, conclaves where we talk about what should we eat. But it is extremely challenging, right? As I said, think about birthday party. Think about the lunch. I'm sorry, Ulana, but think about the lunch that you're going to have today, post this session. It is tasty, very tasty, and I'm sure if you would have been handed over a bowl full of fruits or fruit salad, you would not be happy. But at the end of the day, what is happening? What is happening is taste is masking health. So can't we talk about healthy food which are also tasty and be at least from the point of view of health, try and promote those foods in wherever we gather or wherever we team up. So you see, why are we talking about nutrition education? Can't we design the messages in such a way that even a child, I show you a few case studies as well that I have myself done and others have done as well. Why can't we talk about nutritional problems simply and relate them to public health issues, to nutrients that can prevent these diseases? Why can't we talk to the community in a simple manner and tell them what and how to eat and not use research complicated jargon? We can carry bowls, spoons, and a lot of different things that can actually tell them by working my project fact, we have can bones, some of you all know that we do that show them what kind of or what amount of food they are eating and what should be the correct way. So nutrition education should start from the grassroots. It has no age barriers, and we can go about doing a lot of things, interesting things, to make people understand what is correct. For example, lectures and demonstrations. Lectures we always carry out. We are having a lecture right now, but obviously not to people who are nutritionally sound. Yes, one multiplied by all of you will carry out the message and multiply it in the society. That is my belief. So when you go out in the community, make sure you do hands-on training in workshops. Teach people how to cook correctly, the amount, the ways of correct cooking. When we go out, now this topic was a very vast and broad topic. So I wanted to narrow it down and keep it in such a way of talk to you, the young people, about how you can help the society to combat public health problems. So we also have films, slideshows, posters, charts, make them attractive. And I will share a few stories with you when we go and talk to people. Tell them stories. For example, if I tell you, when Lord Ganesha, this is a small story. When Lord Ganesha was eating, he loved eating actually. So when he was eating, some devil called Pushur, an Asura, attacked him. He was furious and he engulfed on the devil. So what happened was he got indigestion, he was suffering from flatulence. And his followers gave him 21 days of grass, as green grass, which had chlorophyll and immense digestibility potential. It has magnesium, as you know, and it was good for digestion, and Ganesha was happy. Now this story can be used for nutrition education purposes for people who are not nutritionists, who are not from the nutrition background, and who maybe are just people who are there in the community and would love to listen to such small, cute stories and learn that barley grass, wheat grass, and such chlorophyll-containing items are extremely beneficial. They not only help in digestion, they also can fight diseases as dangerous as cancer. So, you see how nutrition education should become a part of your daily life, your daily stories to the young people. Yes, young people is the key word because we will have to change from the start. Eat right from the start, from the very beginning should be the key word. Now you see for a nutrition education program, how beautifully this has been designed, where at a glance you get the complete picture of all the factors that are put together. Assessment and diagnosis have to be carried out first, and then nutrition education as a part of nutrition intervention is necessary. So nutrition intervention in the form of nutrition education can stop the economic drain out of the country when we have to make supplements, when we have to design new foods. So if we educate people properly from the very early age, we will not have to think about nutritional deficiency diseases. Sherry works on juvenile diabetes. I'm sure, I hope she's there. She knows what malnutrition and faulty nutrition can do to a child. Although if they're young, they would agree with me that nutrition education should be made a part of everything that goes on, from public policies to community level programs, institutions, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and at all levels. These are the advantages. I will not explain them. You can see that it's all advantageous, but yes, every pro, anything that has a pro will have a con. So it will obviously depend on the kind of resources that you have. Specific skills are needed, yes. Just going out into the community saying this is good and that is not the way you carry the messages. Make sure they are interesting. As I said, I would share with you a particular study where about 50, a group of 50 children were given nutrition education and another group was not given nutrition education, and both of them were asked their food. So the case A was the test group and who were given education, nutrition education of course, and the group B who were not given nutrition education were just asked to choose the food. So the methodology is written here, one step after the other. Data was collected, they were given information. Some, the control group was not given the information, the test group was. And finally, when they were asked to choose, a huge change in the pattern was seen. I wanted to share my experience as well. I have worked with Indian Rice Research Institute, a lot of you must know about it. When we were working, we had made videos, I had made small videos, and we started educating people. The before and the after picture were drastically different. Yes, nutrition education can change the scenario of public health in our country, definitely. When teachers teach, there was another project where teachers taught, it was seen that teachers improve their own food choices. So if I am talking about something good, it's quite obvious that I myself register it here and here, as I said, and choose the correct food. So it was just like 90% of teachers increased their vegetable intake. Just imagine 90%. 33% followed more nutrition patterns. 49% consumed less sugar, beverages, and 16% increased their consumption of curd and other things. So it helps. Nutrition education helps. And that is the motto that we have today. And in fact, NUTRI-CONCLAVE is doing just that, helping people know more about nutrition. Curriculum. In the curriculum, there should be some nutrition information from the very start. It should be made compulsory in all levels, at all levels of studies. Another study, this is the baseline when we started studying, this is the end line, where after nutrition education was imparted, see the kind of nutritional knowledge score. It has gone up, way up. This is a statistical table, maybe the students would not get the outliers, but you can just see how much it has increased. Nutritional attitude, nutritional knowledge, and healthy diet index. This was a study, I have taken it just from there, the graph has been taken to show you the change that you can bring from today itself. So we have to host workshops, that's something that you are doing today. Nutritional resources have to be accessed. We have to collaborate at the field level with farmers. We have to create competitions, healthy competitions between different groups so that better comes out. Nutrition education has to be incorporated in every single point, every single step. All over the world. Have you heard of the places called Kitui, Nakuru, and Busia? We haven't even heard because there are places in Kenya. Small places. They have integrated the education with health. The ministry together works to collaborate food, to collaborate education, and see the marked changes that have taken place. Kenya is also not a very rich country, so you can see what changes have taken place. Everyone here, I'm sure a lot of you have gathered there, I can just visualize. Every one of you will be led today to go out into the society and talk about proper food. proper health and nutrition outcomes and the educational outcomes would both be benefited. If you do not have correct food for your brain, if you do not have enough proteins that can secrete neurotransmitters and enhance your memory capacity, we will not be able to remember, we will not be able to educate ourselves. And there is no end or age to education. This is what we have. I'm almost at the end of my speech. Attitude, social norms, perceived risk, and self-efficacy. These are the behavioral intentions where we need to motivate. If today I ask you not to have the delicious food when you go out to a restaurant with your friends, don't have the biryani or the oily food stuff, and maybe choose something that is easier on your health. I need to motivate you. How many of you would like to do that? Ask yourself. I am here to just raise the question so that you young people and even everyone in your audience can understand or ask a question to oneself and to the others in the family, community. Are we ready? Are we motivated enough to change the way we eat, the way we think? And then we have to take proper action. We have to adapt to the changes that are needed. This is a model for nutrition interventions. You can just have a look. I will not go into the details because nutrition education alone and together with a lot of factors can actually change the outcome of disease pattern in India. We can use, this is the last slide, we can use these absolutely attractive pictures for very young children. So let us start from the very young age, and we can also use these quizzes or question and answer science. This is from a book. So that people, everyone, if you do get the time, try and answer all these questions so that you can, the master audience actually get yours, so that you can understand where you are, what you have to do, and what is the future plan. So nutrition, education, and public health will go hand in hand if we today at NUTRI-CONCLAVE, pledge that we take the first step so that we can reach out to each and every one in the community and make a difference to all. So thank you so much for the patient hearing, and I'm sure you are very happy. Over to the team, over to Residenci and the others. Anyone from the team? Kindly, yes, thank you.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for that information. So you are in the virtual group stage in the same financial needs. Therefore, previous has always done, and these are very much right. And today, Dr. can say some words to you.
I am losing on the words to see you, my mentor, my Didi, my everything. What I say you, I don't know. So it's so pleasing and so, like, all the time so overwhelming to see on the always and always every time I call you for every occasion. So it's such a privilege on my part to get such inspiration coming here.
I need to unmute because I can't hear what you are saying. Yes, thank you.
I'm extremely privileged to have you, Didi, here, and every time, it's not now, it's not then, it's not previously, every time I request you with your such busy schedule, you plan for me. So it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a connect somewhere which I have created long time back. So once again, I just thank you, I congratulate you for everything. Your son, he has done such wonderful in both. So congratulations to a proud mom, proud mentor and proud everything. I'm so overwhelmed to have you, though not physically but online. But I get the same connect as my students, and I'm extremely thankful to you that with this so much of glitches and technical disturbances, still you are connected. I'm thankful to you and immensely congratulate you for your presentation. Thank you so very much. You're welcome here. With the same recognition, I would distantly make you reach everything which I can do. Possibly I could have done it here, but unfortunately not this time. But always next time I plan with you ahead, and I sincerely request your presence here. But definitely every token, every whatever I can do from my end, I'll surely make you reach to your place. Thank you so very much, Anindita Di. It's a pride and it's my proud to get you as my mentor and a support for all time. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Goodbye, ma'am.
The recording has stopped.
So here we declare the lunch break. We will come back after it at 2 p.m. for the virtual session 2. Thank you.
We had to.
It's just to go. We are running a bit late, but never mind. We are actually planned for 2 virtual sessions. Before lunch and post lunch, we have a very eminent endocrinologist and metabolic disorder specialist, Dr. Amit Kumar De. He'll be speaking on precise nutrition. So we can just enjoy our lunch in between, and sir will be logging in because he's in his clinic and he wants me to intimate him. As soon as we complete here, sir will log in and impart his knowledge. So let us enjoy the lunch, but please be on time so that we can log in and respect his time as well, because initially we have to be like with his time also. So thank you so very much for your august presence, and thank you for being here at NUTRI-CONCLAVE 2024.
আগে ওটাকে লিস্টটাকে দেখো, কাছে যেটা করে পাঠাতে বলেছিলাম ওই লিস্টটা দেখো, আমি অ্যালাউ করে দিয়েছিলাম। পে করেনি সে আমিও জানি না, আমার কথা হচ্ছে তাহলে দেখতে যে আরো খুব বেটার লাগবে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, তাহলে ও যদি নাম থাকে
নমস্কার, আমি পার্থ সিনহা বলছি ফ্রম অ্যালটেক বায়োজেনিক্স প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড। যে প্রোডাক্টটা মেন প্রোডাক্টটা হচ্ছে অ্যালবুটাইড। অ্যালবুটাইড ইজ দ্য অ্যালবুমিন প্রোটিন, হাই অ্যালবুমিন protein. It contains 65% A-white protein, essential amino acids with arginine, vitamin A, immunoglobulin stars, DHA, antioxidants with 26 essential vitamins, minerals it has. Apart from that, sir, we are having, this is a ideal predominant diet because of it, because we are having 3 parameters are there as a 3 parameters are there. Is a is a 65% white protein, essential amino acids with 3 branched amino acids, that is 70 milligram each 100 gram. It is a concentration. And also, doctor, we are having the L-leucines, that is 2040 milligram each 30 gram. It is a concentration. Internationally, there is a parameter. It is a minimum 2000 milligram concentration with 30 gram. It should be there for predominant diet. We are having more than that, 2040 milligram. So this is the ideal predominant diet to counteract the sarcopenia patients. So, and this is the advantage of, this is totally sugar free, lactose free, gluten free, preservative free, and this is the animal high protein. So there is a problem 1 or 2%, that is the gastric discomfort or loose bones. So therefore we are having lactobacillus rhamnosus, it will take care. And the one thing that main important for of albumin protein, its net protein utilization is 94%. So therefore consumption is very low, that is 15 gram to soup.
একটু ওয়েট, গিয়ে দেখো না আজকে বন্ধ হয়েছে, একটু দাঁড়িয়ে যাবে। Bluetooth range lecture. Continue करो.
This is uniqueness of our albumin protein is consumption is very low, that is 15 gram. That is 15 gram, that means 2 scoops, 7.5 gram is scoop. So 2 scoop, that is 15 gram, and 15 gram provides 10 gram of protein. This is the uniqueness. So this is our pack size. There is always a shaker is attached to the pack size because of high albumin protein. So without shaker, it will not soluble and miscible. So this is our brand, albumin protein diet, that is Albu diet.
In this albumin segment, we have another product, very beautiful product. Especially this product is designed for the patient on dialysis. We have albumin RRT, the renal replacement therapy. Especially during the dialysis, main the concern is the restrictions. Along with the during dialysis, there is the loss of protein, loss of at least 20 to 30 gram per day. So albumin RRT, which is containing 70% of the albumin protein, and this is the beauty of this product. Albumin RRT is available in a spectrum formulation, so that can be taken mixed up with the food that patient can consume. So when there is a restriction of liquid, so this is as an additional advantage. What are the other advantage albumin RRT is containing? The MCT, 5 gram of MCT, which is again high protein, and it is ensuring of high calorie also. Apart from that, 5 protein digestive enzymes are available, which is giving an additional advantage to the patient for the better digestion, and complex of probiotic is rest assuring the better gut function. Albumin RRT, a very fantastic product, very specially designed for the patient on dialysis. We have albumin RRT.
This is another brand, that is our virgin coconut oil. You know, this is the virgin coconut, this is the 100% organic. 100% organic because of this is technology we are using, company are using, that is cool press technology. There is no light, no heat, no temperature. Only raw coconut oil comes out. This is if you go in the market, there is a consumer coconut oil that is treated by RBD technology, that is refined, deodorized and bleached is there. So therefore total your nutritious part is breakdown. But in virgin coconut oil, there is totally intact, or there intact nutritional part. Main thing, the virgin coconut oil, there is a lauric acid. Actually this is a medium chain fatty acids. The good medium chain fatty acids. There is a lauric acid 52%, and it has a antibacterial, microbial, antiviral potential. It takes care of the skin care. This is a natural skin care, and it is better than any other emollient which are available in the market. Also this is a edible. Because of edible, there is a high calorie resource. 1 tablespoon provide 125 kcal energy, that is 13.5 gram. In the ICU patients, there is a homogeneous diet. So many doctors they are using is the virgin coconut oil as an instant calorie enhancing. This is our brand VCO Virgin Coconut Oil. Thank you.
না না কি বলতে হবে পুরো কোম্পানি ডিটেলস প্লাস প্রোডাক্ট
আপনার যেটা ছোট করে একদম ছোট করে
হ্যালো গুড আফটারনুন এভরিবডি
আপনি বলতে
myself Srijit Dutta is the regional sales manager of Cytochrome Life Sciences Private Limited. Basically Cytochrome Life Sciences Private Limited is the organization of Delhi based. Is have a critical care division and some nutrition products is also have. So first of all just introduce our brand Amino Source. This is the Amino Source brand. This is basically branched amino acid presence. We have the basically introduce the indication of the branched amino acid of Amino Source is the slim one patients use the proper guidance as per Amino Source dosage. Then it would be treated is as a very well, and also is a cirrhosis of liver and also liver disease patients and also ICU patients. This is the Amino Source brand 120 gram dosage is the 1.5 spoon powders along with lukewarm water of 60 ml, and second dose is the evening dose and the same dose as our GDRs. And another brand is the NUTRI-CONCLAVE L sachet. Is a L-glutamine sachet. Is a basically critical care product as a ICU patients. Is a have a gut permeability, improves the gut permeability and also improves the nitrogen balance. And also if your patient is critically infected as ICU or ward, so mostly patients is deficiency of the immunity. So is a basically immunoboosters as well as immunity increase. These are the brands which we are promote from our company. Thank you.